Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla. Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time is come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket. It's not about the winning, it's about how many rules you break. Even in cricket commentary, this is the best advice to take. Pick guerrilla cricket, it's the finest choice you'll ever make. There's so much more to cricket than rev counters and a slice of cake. At first they tried to sanitize us and clean up our act, but people like it filthy, and we know that for a fact. Fidel Castro, Lenny Pascoe, Carlos the Jackal, Umar Akmal, Mahatma Gandhi, Grant and Andy, Brendan Behan, Austin Ian, guerrilla cricket. Stick with us, cause you know we're not the kind of thing that you see on the TV and the radio. So vive la revolution. First they tried to buy us, but we would not be bought. Okay, we were, but then we ran away, and we will not be caught. We would not give up the ghost when they left us all for dead. They decapitated us, but we just grew another head. Chairman Mao, Jamie Howe, Ho Chi Minh, Asif Din, Václav Havel, Graham Saville, No Surrender, Percy Fender, Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin.
You're on social.
Douglas Jardine.
I'm alright.
Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket.
Good morning, good evening, good dawn, good dusk, wherever you are in the world. It's guerrilla cricket. Yay, we're back. It's Saturday night. It's alright for a fight, isn't it?
It's alright for dancing as well, isn't it?
England just got splattered by the South Africans, but we're out in West Indies, and England are 3-0 up.
Dead rubber, dead rubber, dead rubber.
Dead rubber, dead rubber, dead rubber. But the interesting thing is we finally lost the toss and have to bat first.
Yay!
Yay! So is this pitch, or are these pitches impossible to bat on and score and get a winning total as it comes into twilight and going into darkness? We're about to find out.
Yes, indeed. And of course, what's quite interesting is on TNT Sports, someone has gone into an old ECB cupboard and found Jason Roy.
They have.
And he's there. He's doing some
talking
commentary.
asinine bollocks.
Probably.
Yeah, he is. I was listening to him earlier.
Oh, were you? Okay,
Yeah,
fair
yeah,
enough.
yeah.
Do you want to know anything about the teams? I can bring you those if you're in the least.
Well,
bit interested.
I know that there is only one change for England, and that is John Turner is in for Joffre.
Right, that is correct.
Shafane Rutherford is in for can't remember who.
I would guess he's coming. Well, no, I wouldn't guess that he. I'm trying to think who he's coming in for.
Terence Hines is out.
Yeah, and Obed McCoy.
Obed McCoy. Now there's a name from the past.
But also, Terence Hines has gone, and bizarrely, a bowler who's been one of their most effective batsmen, which is Mario Shepherd.
Yes, I thought that was a bit odd.
I mean, it seems harsh that the man that sort of got them out of he hasn't enabled them to win a game, but he's managed to give them a chance is the man who pays the price. But there you go. That's life, I suppose. I'll read you out the teams. The West Indies line up with Rovman Powell as captain, Roston Chase, Shimron Hetmeyer, Shai Hope, Akil Hussain, he's bowled really well, Azari Joseph, Evan Lewis, Abed McCoy, Gudigash Moti, Nicholas Puran, wicketkeeper, and Shafane Rutherford. For England, it is, if my phone will work, Rayan Ahmed gets another chance, so Adil Rashid is having a nice... I imagine Adil Rashid's having a few days on the beach in St Lucia. Jacob Bethel, Joss Butler, Sam Curran, Will Jacks, Liam Livingston, Saqib Mahmood, Dan Mosley, John Turner, Phil Salt and Jamie Overton. So absolutely right, John Turner is the only change. He comes in for Archer. Now let us have a look at the GPL, because nobody entered the GPL the other night. Can you find me the GPL there?
Yes.
Would you mind awfully?
I can do that for you, Hendo.
Now,
since you've taken over my job and you're just yapping away.
Well, I'm yapping away because you weren't saying anything.
Well, because you were talking.
Well, I was giving you the teams, Bear.
Well, okay. All right.
Over to you, Bear.
Over to me. Well, the GPL is open, actually. We open it now on Messi's suggestion actually when we go on air, which makes sense. It's open till, what time are we at? 8:45 it open till. The pot is £102, which is well, I think. We should introduce our compadre for the evening, who hasn't said a word yet. All right, Fred.
Hello. Who's that bloke?
We thought you were coming in, Fred, but you know.
Who's that weirdo?
Well, I thought I was too. Yeah, it's like being on with Gary Naylor. You know, you go 10 minutes without actually having to say anything. It was quite fun. Hello, everybody. This is all very exciting. I've never heard of any of those players you're talking about, but I'm sure it'd be wonderful.
Rubbish. You've heard of Shai Hope, you've heard of Evan Lewis, you've heard of Nicholas Pooran, Shimron Hetmeyer, maybe not Shafane Rutherford, Rodman Powell.
In an era of terrible wicketkeepers, I think Pooran might be the worst.
Well, he didn't have a very good game the other night, did he? He put down he got put down to Livingston twice, and Livingston kind of got England over the line, really, didn't he? Near enough.
Yeah. I don't think Pillar of Salt is that great. But,
no, Pillar of Salt is not great. It has to be said. He's a bit of an iron gloves.
Have we actually got any good wicket keepers in?
And what does salt do to iron? Let's be honest. It corrodes it.
Corrodes it. Yeah. Well, does it? It's a preserver, isn't it? It's a preservative salt. We preserve food with it.
Well, Fred, you're an expert on these things. Do you expect England to show that batting first is quite easy out here?
I think they've got a better batting lineup, as far as I've seen, than the West Indies do. So, and it seems quite comfortably better as well. So, whether that is going to even up to the extent that the West Indies are favourites, I don't think that's true. I think England have still got a stronger lineup and will be favourites, even though they've lost Geoff Archer because he's had a really, really tough 3 years or so. Must have bowled 20 or so overs. John Turner, what's John Turner? Didn't we see him in the ODIs?
Yeah, we did. I actually quite like John Turner.
Yeah.
I think he's got little potential. He's a bit nippy. Yeah, he looked nippy. He's strong. He bowls from a decent height. Anyway, let's do the jingle thing. This guy's... Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I want to play it instead. Go on, get away.
Sort yourself out, man.
There we go.
Come on. I'll bring you some...
we need a better tech guy.
Get up on this. Salt, yeah, Phil is here. Want you to push it good into the offside. Scores runs around the park. There's no way you can hide. Push it. Salt, yeah, Phil is here.
It's Poppy, she's back.
Poppy's here. Hi, my dad. It's this or the football, so I picked this. It's Poppy. I'm back.
Yes, hello, Poppy. I just put in over McCoy. Where did I put him?
I don't know, Ben. I don't know. What football is on tonight? Is it
Wales?
No, that's
playing.
finished. That's finished.
There was some WSL.
Wow.
Oh, it's me, isn't it?
Yeah, it is you.
Driven hard by Salt. Nice, actually. Over McCoy is starting and is driven out to cover.
Yeah,
hit the fielder though. No run.
Smashed that pretty hard.
he did. I completely lost the ball then.
Okay, the bowler is
fielding, which we haven't said a lot.
When a bowl got out of bed, now I must face him instead. Found my way on strike and marked my ground, been playing my shot.
Second ball comes in. Oh, swings a little bit into the pads, but gets clipped nicely. The sun's going down, the shadows are on. It's actually not that very easy to see the ball. But you know what that was? Well, we'll get rid of that because that's going on and on and on and on. And instead, we'll have one of these.
4 on the floor, and one more 4 than the 4 before. That's what 4s are for, to get funky on the dance floor.
England are going to prove it's not hard to bat under lights and score over 200. So says the bear.
You've gone quiet.
No, because he wasn't talking to his mic. He was cleaning.
Sorry, I
his
was cleaning my glasses to see if I could see the ball any better.
I don't think it will help. It's the light. It must be. It's coming
Works
into
for
sort
Jack
of
Leach.
twilight. Ober McCoy again into the pads. Tries to work it around the corner. Doesn't get any connection on it. Just balloons out to mid wicket. Oh, we've had the first overthrow. We had quite a few of those the other day. That's
hello.
important. Is that 4 overthrows?
I think it must have been.
It's leg buys.
And
Oh, for fuck's sake, West Indies, you fucking idiots. Get on. What happened there? I mean, it just
God
ballooned
knows.
out onto the leg side.
They went for a single.
No, they didn't. He turned back. He just turned back. And then, what the fuck is that?
How was
I think
that?
that was Akil Hussain. He just threw it over the keeper. That was fucking third man. No, it wasn't him.
It's Rutherford, isn't it?
Was it Rutherford?
Yeah.
I did congratulate them on their fielding after one ball, but it
That's
hasn't lasted very long.
Appalling. I mean, that is just...
I do feel like there's a bit of a sort of lackadaisical attitude at the beginning of games from the West Indies. I mean, the way they batted the other night was really irresponsible, I think.
I know, I mean, Andy has his theories, and I tend to agree in T20. They just go hard and go hard and go harder. You know, men with them would be proud. There's a big swing, no ding from Salt through to Pooran, and there is no run. And to a certain degree, that's how you play T20, right? And then if it goes wrong, you try and do something, and they've basically failed in that 3 times in a row. But if it comes off, they can get an almighty score.
Yeah, but you've got to be good to do that. And I mean, when you talk about...
Well, you say they're not very good.
I'm talking about...
You say that, but they lost 4 wickets, was it, in the first of these, and still got to 170, 180?
Well, they've relied on their middle to lower order, to be honest. The top order's been appalling.
But they did thrash at the top, so even when they were getting out, they were scoring quickly. That means you can score quite a big total.
That's gone straight downtown, over mid-off. Ooh, it's just bounced inside the sponge. I thought for a minute he got top edge and it just gone straight up, but nope, it's gone straight and it's 4.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
I don't know if anyone saw any of the India-South Africa game yesterday.
No.
283 for 1, India.
Oh,
Hundreds for, was it Samson, and for this new find. Yet another new find.
Wow, there's there's over 1 billion of them. They all love cricket.
If they can't all
That's
play
surprising.
cricket, I mean...
Well, no, they can't, but I mean, you get a lot, there's a lot to perm from when you've got 1 million. You know, it's like finding footballers in England these days, you know. Yeah, Knackle's leg spin isn't great, let's be honest. That's short, slower, I think, by Owen McCoy. 12 off the first over, and it goes through to keeper, and there's no run.
Come and join us on YouTube or on Blue Sky. If the bear can set up the iPad for Blue Sky, I'll read out things on there as well. So we've had a good morning from Poppy, a good morning from Jonathan Shortland. Muttley says, woof, evening primates, got beer and snacks on the way, Deliveroo, love and sausages. And they've just arrived on time, he says. Philip Shaw, Poppy has been looking forward, I presume it means forward to this all day. Thank you all for turning her to the cricket. I'm going to change my name to Poppy's dad. Okay. And Paul G says, I love this. Come on, England. Now, remember, of course, that you can help us out monetarily by... what is it again, Ben?
Super Chat.
Super Chat, that's the one.
Oh, and remember, smash the like button and subscribe.
How many subscribers have we got? Let me have a look. I can't see.
It doesn't tell you on here. This is the live feed, mate. Right, the other English batsman is Will Jacks at the other end. He is. He hasn't faced the ball yet. He goes like this. And apparently grumpy, I'll give him his jingle after this ball, but he had a spat and got done for a game. Well, not done for a game, but put off the field for a game.
2 games.
Was it 2 games? Yeah, because he had an argument with Shea Hope about fielding positions. Anyway, that first ball goes down leg side. Jax doesn't get anything on it. Hits his thigh pad. Looks like it caused him a little bit of pain and wendled its way through to Poran. It's no run. The bowler is obviously.
Oh God.
Alzari Joseph. Alzari Joseph. Alzari Joseph.
How many times do we have to watch Ian Bishop holding a cricket ball and moving his fingers on the seam? It seems to do it. Talk about a one-trick pony.
Well, I know. Well, Azari Joseph comes in. He's been actually a very good bowler. Will Jacks just plays it down to mid-on, scoots through for a quick single.
Joe Grover's with us. He says, right lads, congratulations are in order. Trump has just appointed me dodgy substances czar.
Nice.
But I would possibly employ the bear as your deputy. Paul G says, I've just found the channel, so just subbed and liked. Oh, thank you very much, Paul G. Great to have you along.
Thank you very much.
Will Reynolds, of course, our good friend and fellow commentator, says, like, follow and subscribe. Poppy says, the football's not on today. Silly daddy, oink oink. And we've got a super chat. We've got a super chat from Muttley. £2 worth of super chat. Thank you very much, Muttley.
Well, Zara Joseph's in. Now he tries to give that the big heave-ho down the leg side as Will Jacks gets right across the stumps. Could have been bowled, missed it altogether. He then asked for a wide, but I think it kind of went over leg stump. So
no, well, he went well outside his off stump there,
yeah,
didn't
he did.
Yeah, Salter was, by the way.
We've had everyone now, haven't we?
We've done all the jingles, yeah.
Yeah, so, but I was going to play.
No, not the...
Well, you know, the others are all 15 seconds long.
The second one down is the best by, you know.
Oh, no, I like the one that's holding out for a hero.
No, well, I suppose it's all right, but I prefer the one above. But anyway, never mind. Each to their own. It's a lovely day in St. Lucia, isn't it?
It is, makes a change.
I'm going to have to look at the humidity. The humidity was 90% the other day, and it was 27 degrees.
That's pretty grim.
Yeah, and you could see the glistening sweat on all the manly bodies out there.
Oh, yes. Well, Phil Salt, 8 off 7, is facing up. Oh, gets that into the pads again. He kicks it out to mid-wicket in the end, and there is no run. Now, am I going to break the habit of a lifetime? Go over. I'm not, actually. 36.5 they're offering me after 12 runs without a wicket. I'm going to go under.
Well, I can tell you that the temperature is greater. It's 31 degrees. Humidity is just 69 today. However, 31 with a humidity of 69% apparently feels like 36 degrees. So there you go. Pretty warm.
Pretty warm. Phil Salt is facing up down the track. Well, he goes outside his leg stump, tries to smear it. This times it back to the bowler, and there ain't no run.
I don't know about you, Fred. I haven't noticed any particular movement off pitch or in the air.
Not at all.
None at all.
The complete opposite of what the England bowlers were doing when they were bowling first.
Yeah.
They were getting a lot of movement.
Yeah, they were, actually. That's very true. It should be said...
That's what I'm here for, to provide...
expert analysis, absolutely. Yeah. It should be said, as well as super chats, which we love, as Zara Joseph comes in. Jesus fucking Christ, you useless fielder. Whoever that was, it was a cover. It was just played at him at a very easy pace, and he misfielded it. It goes through him, and it's going to get 2 runs. That's ridiculous. Patreon is also very, very, very helpful. I have had an offer on the flat. I have refused it because it was too low, but finally I've got the right advertising. I've had some very encouraging views recently. We are going to move out of here soon. We are going to have to have a studio. I looked at one the other day. It's basically twice as much as here, easily, to move out. We do rely on you guys. We do want to carry on going, but it has to be self-supporting. So, and Patreon is the best way that you can help us out in that respect, because we kind of know what we're getting every month, and I can plan on finding a space that works for us and that we can afford, because we're going to have to sign a year or 2 lease probably in a commercial space, which scares me a little bit. So so please do Patreon as well. Super chat while we're on air is great, but coming along, it doesn't have to be a lot. I think the bottom tier is $5 or $10 a month. Look, fucking Starbucks is £5 a pop these days. just forego one Starbucks.
Well,
a month.
and of course, if you do give us 10, you go on the Roll of Honour across.
Yeah,
the,
you get on the
YouTube.
glory roll. You get the podcast. There's, you get extras. You get access to the archive. You get onto the. We've got a. You can join the Gorilla community on Discord.
Absolutely.
So you get lots and lots of extras by becoming a patron. We are forever grateful, and it does help sustain us. We have a change in the bowling. We have a new bowler. He's a left arm round. He's great. I like him. I really like him. I don't understand why I haven't tried it unless he's really shit at every other form of cricket, but he's very effective at this sort of game. His first ball, Salt goes back, clatters down to long on for a single. But it is. I really like this guy.
A kill won't appeal in vain. A kill is a real Hussein.
Yep, it's Akil Hussain. Oh, that's a filthy delivery though. Dragged it down. I think it came out of his fingers wrong, and he sort of just dragged it into the deck wide, short, bounced, got clattered over cover. I don't think it went anything go there at all the way down to point, and it's 4 runs. Well, at cover. Really.
Outfield was slow there, though, wasn't it?
Outfield is quite slow.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a sunny day. I mean, the other day it was humid, it was dewy, it was horrible. It was a
Nasty.
much better day today.
Yeah. What you go out to the Caribbean for today, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's where Adil is. I think we should have Adil Cam find out where he is. I think he's
Adil?
under a palm tree on a beach somewhere, I reckon. Well, he hasn't played in either of these games. has
Oh
he?
right, yeah. He's just having chill. Oh, jeez, Christ, he's gone back though this time as Salt, and he's clattered that over cow corner. First big one of the day. It's one of these. Dropped a little bit short, a little bit straight, and he was onto it pretty quick with Salt.
I should say, of course, that if you do want to Patreon us, you can go to patreon.com/Gorilla Cricket, 1R 2 Ls. That's the way we spell it. And you can follow the instructions, and we would be, as the bear said, we'd be really, really grateful.
Monumentally grateful. And obviously, yeah, super chats while you're on air. Guarantees you get run out. Such is the way of life in the modern world with bloody social media. So that's played out to long on, and it's a single. It does kind of democratise the world of broadcast, I guess, and
does it?
media. Well, it does really, because you can do it for nothing if you want to, and no one watches you. You can do it. People watch you, and people. You can self-finance. I mean, what you got to think is that actually getting stuff made, if you want to go to a TV channel, relies on someone else saying you can do that, and doesn't necessarily talk about. Well, that's round the wicket. Saying I'm not sure I'll review that, Hendo.
What, as an LB? Yeah, absolutely.
It went pretty straight. A big swish.
I think it was going a bit high, though.
Do you think it was going
quite
high?
far forward?
I thought. Well, my question would be whether it hit outside the line, but I don't think it was high. Salt's gone for a big fat. No, Jack, sorry, has gone for a big fat sweep. Missed it. It's hit him on the back thighs. He's going down to sweep it.
I think that shot it brings about his downfall far too much. I think I'd wait until I got in a little bit from his perspective before playing that shot.
25 overs and then have a look.
Yeah, absolutely. Just dob it into the offside a couple of times.
Round the wicket, Hussain. Down the track comes. No, he gets hold on that one. That's just Will Jack. Plants it straight back at the buzzer. Well, it would have landed inside the green field. The boundary is fucking short.
They're always short. It's crazy.
I know, it is ridiculously short. But there is no long on anyway, so it carried him anyway, and it's one of these.
And of course, Hussain, who's been so outstanding, has gone for 18. Yeah. Let me do some more.
Well, this is your famous.
Super Chat Cash,
Oh,
Super
yes.
Chat Cash, Super Chat Cash.
It's from Jay Grover. He says, "Giving up Starbucks, not a problem. I'm now doing some research for my new position." What is your new position? SAR. Yeah. That will be richer by tomorrow. Trump always pays his debts.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Well, let's have a look. Here we go. Oh, now that hitting line.
Oh, it's going over.
You were right.
Good shout, Fred. And you did that from so far away, in an unknown part of northwest London.
Well, I'm hoping it's somewhere nearer where Bear finds a new studio. Put it that way. 'Cause,
It won't be, Fred.
Do you?
Suggesting 1 hour 45 minutes for me to drive to you this evening.
Oh, really? Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I can see why you maybe didn't do that then.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, if no one else is prepared to learn any fucking technical shit, it's got to be near me, I'm afraid. So that's worked into the leg side by Salt, who got himself a single.
Well,
There's another option there. We could pretend to learn it, and then after you sign the lease, just then forget it.
Yeah, and then then I'll be on the fucking hook for you bastards who don't want to do anything, and I sign my name on a lease, so you can fuck off on that one,
deal.
Fred.
Yeah,
No, that's not a very good deal for me, is it? Some bastard will be chasing me, and you lot will all be smiling.
Well, you have had about 18 years of living just 3 minutes away from the studio.
Because none of you fucking want to learn how to use it. I'm not going to fucking Wimbledon. It's not hard to turn on a bloody computer, and turn on a couple of fucking programs, but none of you want to learn it. Oh. Sorry, lost it a bit there, didn't I?
Did a bit.
Well, it does upset me when you say such shit.
Well,
McCoy's in, and Jax goes back and slaps it over cover, and they will get 4 runs. And I've lost my bet. I should have gone over. My inclination was to go over, but I decided to stay true to myself, and I fucked it up. So it's one of these.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
Jay
We had
Grover.
a money jingle when you won a bet, didn't we?
Yeah, I do have that. Yeah.
Oh, we should have the Mog sent in the What's Tickled Tony jingle the other night.
Oh yeah.
Although
The other night the bloody internet wasn't fucking working, so I couldn't.
Bear, can you stop swearing? Yeah, there's
Sorry.
too much tonight. Too much.
Oh,
mate.
shush.
As we're being told on YouTube.
Or is it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I've had a couple of beers tonight. That's why I stopped drinking. Will Jax is smashed that into the outfield. I thought it had gone for 6, but no, it's plugged in the outfield, and it's actually only going to be 2. 3! They come back for 3. Good running. Right.
Another odd bit of fielding, because he got to where it landed, then ran sort of about 3 yards past it, and then did a sort of a slow turnaround, like a cruise ship or something.
Well, I suppose he thought he was going
instead
to.
of-
He thought it was going to run on, didn't he? So he was sort of preparing himself to try and flick it back as it ran towards the road, but it did absolutely plug. So, I think you're being a bit harsh, Fred.
They're not a great fielding team. And
Well-
they haven't been for a long time, have they? Even the days of Gale you're thinking of, and other people who just sort of stood there in the field.
Yeah, but Gale was a good slip, wasn't he? He was a
Who
good
is
slip.
this jingle was supposed to? What jingle was that? Oh, that's cut by Salt out to the man at point. There's no run.
He may not have sent it to the gorilla. He
Well, he
sent it
should've.
to me. I'll send it on at some point.
Yeah.
But Tony's not here. Tony's not even here to be tickled, so it doesn't really matter. I just want to say Joe Gover gave us 10 quid, so that was very kind of him. Thank you very much. The other night he was just throwing money at us.
Yes.
Literally. Let's have a look. Let me see if I can get through some tweets. I'm sorry, I've missed a couple of people as the YouTube comments are coming in so thick and fast, and I can't get a word in when they're swearing.
That's worked into the leg side by Salt. It's Saturday night. It's time. Well, it's not time for a fight, but it's certainly time for beers. Worked into the leg side, and there's no one. I do get a bit fruity when I've had a few beers. I can see someone saying what's the easiest way to do a one-off transaction. Go to our website and click on a donate to PayPal.
Steve Russo says no whitewash wicket. Jager, I said I reckon Will McPherson and Poppy are fictitious characters. Just to be sure, I've only told on the STFU. What's that mean?
STFU. Don't know. Acronyms sometimes don't work with me.
I think it's shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I think it is
right.
right. Yeah.
Okay. That's it wasn't me. That's worked down to deep square leg. It'll be a single by Phil Salt at the end of the over. Retains the strike.
Who was the
23 off 16.
YouTube comment?
England are 43 for none. Okay, carry
Who
on.
was the YouTube commenter that Hendo called the most pessimistic man in the world? Which, coming from Hendo, is just absolutely extraordinary.
Well, it's true, but actually,
it's a guy
Jake.
with a Leeds United badge for his on his profile on YouTube. So he's obviously. I mean, if you're a Leeds United fan, you're going to have a lot of sorrow in your life. Let's be honest.
Well, actually, it's not. It's Jay says Will McPherson, but of course, Will McPherson is a writer, isn't he? Cricket writer. He means George McPherson. No,
that's it, George.
no coffee, no soda, says Steve Russo. No swearing. Good morning, says Craig Jacobs. What is the easiest way? Oh, you've done that one. There are far worse things going on in the world than the bear's potty mouth. Oh, well, yes, that's true. But when you're sitting next to it and it's in full flow, it's it does the ears in. Especially because the sound's very loud in my headphones for some reason.
Yeah. Well, that's smashed down the ground, Will Jacks, and it's gone into the stand, so it would have carried the vast green bit behind the boundary anyway. But we do have another one of these, and England are showing that you don't have to lose, 6 wickets in the power play. You can actually score runs when there's no one in the outfield.
Well, I think England are almost D-mob happy here, aren't they?
Yeah, they are a little bit.
They've won the series, and they're just going for it.
And actually, I think this is the best day for cricket
to bat first. For batting.
Because it's actually sunny.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing going for the West Indies.
No, nothing going for the West Indies. Well, they still get to chase. That's what they want to do. But, I mean, England are going on, 11 and over? Over 11 and over. That's pulled into the leg side. Flapped at, really, by Jacks. Mistimed. They're going to come back for 2. Crikey, that's good running.
Jacks. You're going to get Hendo excited.
Jacks is 24 off 10.
Jack Simmons.
And Phil Sort is 24 off 16. England are rocketing along here.
Yeah, we've seen this before. We saw England get 73, I think, in the first of these, when in the power play when Phil Sort got his 100.
We need George McPherson to explain to us why they're not doing as well as they ought to be.
Where is George McPherson?
Where is he?
APB. Put an APB out for George McPherson. See what he thinks of it at the moment. Wicket coming.
Flat tap by Will Jacks out to deep square leg. It'll be 1, maybe 2.
No, just the 1, I think.
Just the 1. England 52 for none after 4.3.
Indeed so.
And a no ball. And it's a no ball, so we get one of these.
You get a free hit if they bowl a no ball. Off a free hit, you mostly can't get out at all.
Craig, I think, has donated. Thank you very, very much. He says, job done. Thanks, Craig. Well, no, thank you, Craig.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah,
absolutely. Although we will go and see how much you've given us.
Yeah, if you do it by super chat, YouTube, I have to fill in his form every once in a while. Oh well, that's an attempt to work on the leg side, and actually it's going to end up being a dot ball, the free hit even, and there's no run. YouTube, they charge you 30% on earnings in the US. Tax. No other country in the world, just the US. And you have to fill in this form, which supposedly says that we don't have to pay it because it's royalties or something. But I'm not sure that works. I just think it's a ruse.
Well, everything about social media is a rip-off, isn't it? I think. I mean, who would pay for a blue tick? Who would give money to a trillionaire? To be honest?
I know. Who claims he knows what to do? And one thing, I'm going to say this because it was just.
Don't swear.
I'm not going to swear, but it was just amazing that he could come out with this rubbish. That was a big swing, no ding from Saul. He bangs on about efficiency, yeah, and then he was asking people, wasn't he, with extremely typical Elon Musk. He asking people with extremely high IQ who want to do jobs for the government to reduce efficiency for free.
For free, yeah.
Yeah, you work for me for free, even though you're really intelligent. And that's going to get efficient. Of course, it's going to be bloody efficient, Elon. No one's getting paid, you wank. Jesus, it's outrageous. Big hit. No, not a big hit. Out to cow corner by Phil Salt. Didn't really get hold of it. There is a man out, cow. If he'd not got it quite right, it could have been caught. But he got it so wrong that it bounced before the man out and deep, and it'll be a single. We're going to have a change it then. It's over. Nick's going to come in. Nick, you're going to have to run the Starship, mate. You're on jingles.
I can go there if you like.
Well, you're not on. That's
no,
the thing.
but you can. You've only got Nick in here, haven't you?
Yeah, he can manage jingles. We were talking about the other day. He's a young man who looks like he knows a little bit about technology. All he's got to do, I did tell him, it's very obvious. There's like carts that have names that tell you what it is.
Can you train him up?
I'm throwing him at the deep end. I swear he can. He looks bright enough to me to be able to figure it out. So I'm going to give him that task. Last ball of our little stint. England are 54 for none after 4.5 overs. Good start. Jack's 25 off 11. Salt is 24 off 19. England's run rate is 11.17. Good. No wickets down as well, which is really important. West Indies have lost 3 by the end of the power play. Most games, at least 5 the other day, wasn't it? Oh, now there we go. That's out. My last ball of the power play is bowled into Will Jacks. He tries to give himself some room outside leg stump, but gets followed by Alzari Joseph. Flaps it into the air. Nicholas Pooran comes around, doesn't drop that one, and there will be a wicket. England lose their first. Right on the last ball of the power play. No, it's not the last ball of the power play. There's 1 over to go, isn't there? We're just doing 5 over stints.
Yeah.
So we'll give it a jingle,
And then I'll do Dora Azizi's joined us, says hi all. Philip Shaw says Poppy is real. When she was young, she had a Grover from Sesame Street. Are you real like Grover? I am indeed a Muppet, says Joe Grover. Talking of which, I was watching the Billie Jean King Cup with Emma Raducanu yesterday, and they had an American commentator who was so bad in terms of his voice. He did sound like he came off Sesame Street. I couldn't understand a word. YouTube charged for swearing. Is that you just trying to stop us swearing, Steve? What else we got? Hombre Nuevo has joined us. He says, evening, fantastic GC. Always good to see the Bear on full flow on Saturday night. Do you know if TNT or Sky are showing the New Zealand tests? I don't know which it is, but it'll probably be one of them.
It's TNT.
It's Billy!
Because I'm irritated that I'm not able to watch it. Unless I'm commentating, which I will be doing.
So Billy,
you guys.
we've had you on after you've come out of the nightclub. Are you on before you go into the nightclub tonight?
Well, it's actually interesting because Saturdays are usually a kind of a no going out kind of thing. You don't want to get too involved with locals night.
Oh.
But I am actually, a few friends' parents are up, so yeah, we'll hit the town. Hopefully they'll buy me a few drinks and get stuck in.
Right, well it's Fred to take over ball by ball.
Thank you. Welcome, Billy. Welcome, Nick.
Evening all.
Good luck on the jingle machine.
Yeah, I've got no idea what I'm doing, Fred, but let's see if this works.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Prior ain't no loss, 'cause we found someone subtler. Okay, he can't spell Joss, but he also can't spell Butler. Joss Butler. Just because he is Joss Butler. 1 S and 2 T's. Joss Butler.
Team Hussein is back into attacking. First over went for 18, so it wasn't a great start, but his first ball of his second over is a ball because it's driven by Salt straight to cover the point. No run. So, who's doing what? Nick is summarising. More importantly, he's learning his way around the jingle machine. Billy is doing social media comment. We'll come to him pretty shortly as Hussein gets through his overs nice and quickly. Left arm round the wicket. It's a little bit shorter and it's dragged straight just to the onside of the stumps. There is a long on, so it's just a single to Salt. And Butler will face his first delivery.
Yeah, dot balls been few and far between, haven't they, Fred? I've been losing on the unders too, and England is making batting in this evening light looking a lot easier than the West Indies have done.
They have so far, but the nature of this game is you can lose wickets pretty quickly when you're trying to hit every ball out of the ground. So, yes, it's a good start, but it's not yet a match-winning start. Well, there's supposedly an old craze in you can't win a match during the power play, but you can lose one, which doesn't make any sense because if you've lost one, then the other team's won one. Anyway, Hussein is going to be bowling, and it's a slow ball on the leg stump of Butler. He just eases this out to the leg side sweeper and walks the single.
But it's Fred. They always say 3 wickets in the power play, and that counts as you losing the game. It's quite often what they say, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's like all these aphorisms. They don't make a lot of sense.
No, but it's a good platform, isn't it?
Sometimes now. It is. Salt facing now Hussein, and he makes some room on the leg side and tries to force it through the off, but it's well fielded, or it's gone straight to the man at extra cover. No run, and this time well, I mean, when they do make an ordinary bit of fielding, you tend to say well fielded because so much has gone through them in this series. It's been pretty poor fielding by the West Indies. Maybe the grounds aren't that great either. next ball is lifted back over the bowler's head. Has he got it deep enough? Buffering, and it has cleared the fence.
Just cleared the
not
ropes.
Very much. But he didn't quite time that as well as he would have liked to. But nonetheless, he picks up 6 runs. Usually cue for a jingle.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Nick?
Bear with me. Boundary 6, here we go. Oh, no, I've gone for 6 sixes.
2 sixes in a row. 2 sixes in a row. 2 sixes in a row.
We're learning our way around the computer.
As Hussein in again to Salt. This is shorter, and it's dragged out to deep mid-wicket. There is a fielder there, as usual. Just the 1 run to Salt. Some of the longer jingles, Nick, it's worth... If you have a look when they're playing at the bottom, you can sort of fade them out.
Okay, perfect. Cheers, Fred. Oh, yeah, I see the fader.
Some of them go on for about 12 minutes.
Yeah, that's not too helpful, is it, in a T20?
No. So, the end of the 6th over, 63 for 1. And Billy, what are people saying on the interwebs?
Well, Hombre Nuevo says, cheers Billy, ditching Sky then. I assume that's in reference to the New Zealand series being on TNT, and that's a big debate within cricket, as with many sports, of them sharing various rights across different platforms, meaning that you've got to pay for various descriptions. Steve Rousseau says, thanks for commentary, but please don't swear. We'll try our best. Bear's not on for this stint, so it could be easier. Jay says, hooray Billy, seems happy to see me. Last time I was on, Jay, you were house sitting for your parents, I think, so hopefully...
Got a change of bowling, and it's another left arm round bowler, and his first ball is hit out of the ground. I mean, that's gone a long way.
Into the car park.
Into the car park, and we will jingle up the bowler.
We'll do the bowler.
Salt, and it went for 6.
From Georgetown, Guyana, where he had his first nets, to his debut against Bangladesh. He ain't no kid, but his face is fresh. An island boy named Goody Cash, who took his chance when spinning the ball in his...
Well, that was right in the slot.
And I think we're going to have a bit of time because they've lost the ball. Looks like they might need a replacement.
Yeah, that went a long way. That was a no-doubter. If any of the commentators were parked out there, go and check your windscreen.
And looks like England are definitely eyeing up 200, aren't they?
Well, Livingston hit 115
like
metre 6 the other day. That wasn't 25 metres short of that one, but pretty big.
Yeah. I wonder if you're using too much effort if it goes too far. This is outside the off stump, and it's flayed over extra cover, and it's going to be another biggie because that clears the rope, and it's 2 in a row.
And here we go. I was early, but it's relevant now.
2 sixes in a row. 2 sixes in a row. 2 sixes in a row.
Even my rudimentary arithmetic tells me that Moti's going at an economy rate of 36 runs per over at the moment, which is not great.
No, not a great start for Moti at all. And a rare chance to bowl without the dew.
This one's shorter, and it's flapped that. Attempted a heave up by Salt, goes nowhere, down into the ground, the bowler fields. And he's dragged that economy rate down to 24. It's a terrific ball there from Modi.
Yeah, Salt slightly missed out there, but it looks like he's going to have a swing at everything, doesn't he?
Well, I think he ought to. That's the nature of the game. This one is flicked, full of ball leg stump, and he's turned it round the corner. And it's well fielded by the short fine leg. So it's another dot. It's been 6-6 dot. It's feast or famine so far this over.
No, my one
go on.
No, go on. Just my one criticism of Salt can sometimes be that he's only got 1 gear. Hang on, I'll set up this ball.
This one's driven up to deep mid off. A walk dingle.
Yeah.
He should actually be pushing those because there's been a lot of misfielding, and I don't think the outfield grass is all that good. So if the bloke kicks it away a couple of yards from him, you can come back for 2, but only if you run the first one quickly.
No, just quickly, he seems to only have 1 gear in the sense it's all out attack, but he started slightly more sedately this innings, if you can call it that, with kind of just over 100 strike rate, and now he's exploded. So that's good. You know, T20 cricket, everyone says it's always crash bang wallet, but you've always got a bit more time than you think.
Moti bowls again, this time to Butler, who finds the gap in the offside. Takes the 1, will keep the strike. At the end of the 7th over, it's 7 for 1. Even I can work out that's 11 and over, can he?
Carl Herbert says, cricket commentary is not meant to make sense, lads. Have you listened to GC before? Dara Azizi said we should let the West Indies have Darren Stevens to even up the series. Good old Darren Stevens. Jay was always good on the comments, Jay. Did my comment about enjoying Nick's book get registered before I passed out the other night? If not, it's still mint. What's Nick's book?
Top man, Jay.
Nick, who's it fan?
I wrote a book called An Island's 11, Billy, which Jay is obviously one of about 7 people who've read and apparently enjoyed. So thank you, Jay. Keep talking about it.
Is it in all good?
It's in all good bookshops. You can get it on Amazon Prime. It's in paperback. It's on Kindle. It's a nice gift for the cricket lover in your life for Christmas. And we've got Rovman into the attack.
Yeah, that's the end of the plugging as Rovman's first ball is just binked up to deep mid on for a single.
And I'll give him a bit of this. Better late than never.
Rovman Powell's got an awesome name. It makes him sound like he's a spy. Rovman Powell's got an awesome name.
Powell in again, and this is a full length ball which Paul can't do very much with at all. He drives it straight to cover, no run. 45 he has from 30 deliveries.
And yeah, I agree with you, Billy, about Salt being a bit one-dimensional thus far in his career, but I get the sense he's trying to bat with a bit more nuance moving forward, and I think we saw that in the last ODI where he played a sort of more anchoring innings.
Just hit the ball out of the ground. As Salt bowls and he tries to hit it out of the ground, it goes all along the ground.
Well, he's hit it hard.
And he's beaten the 2 fielders who attempted to converge from mid-on and mid-off, and finds its way to the boundary for 4. Well, Ben need to have had no worries about Nick because he's taken to the jingle machine like a duck to water. It took Hendo about 12 years to get to the level you're at.
Oh, well, thank you kindly, Fred. Cue the Steve Waugh jingle coming out inadvertently, but touch wood, we're going all right so far.
So far, so good. Salt has 49. I'm not really that bothered about these mini milestones, but he's achieved it as he's cut this one past a diving backward point fielder inside the ring and out to the boundary for 4.
I fear that 50 might be a bit beyond me, but I'm having a look.
Milestones.
Milestones, thank you, Fred. Very nicely laid out alphabetically here, as apparently Hendo didn't know until the other night.
Long drawn out grinds and flashing cameos. Quite accumulation that just
Faded.
grows and grows.
It's getting faded before we got to the 50 bit.
Faded because Rodman is in again, and this is sweetly driven out to wide deep mid-off. Single to Salt. He has 54 now, 87 for 1 ball left of the 8th over. We'll have some social media messages from you in a minute, but a 50 for Salt. I think he'll be happy with that, but we'll want to go on.
Yeah, I think so, and it's been a good little series for England's top order, hasn't it? Jacks came in under a bit of pressure, but with a few 30s has just done enough to get detractors off his back.
Rodman bowls again, this time to Butler, who drives up to long on. Again, he's kept the strike. And the score after 8 overs is 88 for 1. And Billy will read some more of your messages.
Philip Shaw says, I wish Jim Henson was alive and they all put together an hour programme of the Muppets play cricket with guerrilla commentary with lots of mic breaks from Muppets, then Kermit will talk.
That would be good. That would be really good.
Big chat about that. Dara Azizi says, man of the series is Salt. Yeah, he's done well so far. England have bounced back reasonably nicely after the loss in the ODI series. Looking to, of course, it's a bit of a strange interim period, isn't it, between McCullum taking over and the end of Trishkovic's reign, really. Jay Grover says, sadly, Kermit was always more eloquent than my namesake. Ever seen Kermit's version of Hurt? Possibly not one for Poppy. And there you go, we're up to date.
Bowled the 3rd of his 4 overs. Bowls to Butler, who is fond of a slow start. He just nudges this to extra cover, no run. He's a batsman who doesn't look to go Burko from the off.
Yeah, especially as he's gotten older, doesn't he? Happy to take a few balls to settle in.
And Hussain, who's bowled well in the series up now. This is outside the leg thump, and this is chipped over the short fine leg fielder. But there is a deep backward square who comes round to field, so it's just 1 to Butler. He had 5 from 6, but he can go from 5 to 6 to sort of 30 or 12 in pretty quick time.
Yeah, and with wickets in hand approaching the halfway stage, they're looking in well-set platform to explode, aren't they?
You don't get punditry like that anywhere else.
Well, I should say I'm a Muppets man too, and it's getting into Muppets Christmas Carol season, which is
are far too young to have enjoyed the Muppets when they were first around. As Hussein, left arm round, bowls, and this is played by Bolt. Has he got enough of this? I don't think he has.
Fuck me, that's a great catch.
I don't think he's taken.
Do you think it's bounced in front of him, Fred?
Taken it. I think the fielder says that bounced in front of him. He sort of waved no. He didn't time it at all. Running in from the deep mid-off boundary was who?
It was Obed McCoy. Really tricky catch if he's taken it.
Yeah. He's dived forward, which are always the hardest to take, because if you don't get it right, you're going to lose a bunch of
Oh no, it's nowhere near taken.
No, it's bounced in front of him, and well, it's literally a matter of inches. And he got his hands on top of the ball rather than under them, which is a bit of a dead giveaway. But a good stop, I suppose. So, 1 for Salt, he has 55 now, and a moral victory for the bowler. He's been a little bit short of those today.
And to be fair to Big Obes, I don't think he was trying to claim it, was he? He put his hand up and said, "I didn't get that" as soon as he.
No.
And Aussie would have.
Yeah, if there are any Aussies listening, take that. You deserve it.
Yeah, that looks like a fine Mitchell Stark catch to me.
Yeah. Well, cameras never tell the whole story, but his hands were never in the position.
They were never
to get
underneath the ball. It was all, he was almost covering it in an attempt to stop it, as you say.
It's a brave effort, though. I like to back out of those when I feel like I might get something coming up into my teeth.
Yeah, not a great fielding team. That was actually a good effort. Oh, we're looking at it. I don't know why it's gone to the third umpire. The fielder said it's not out, so just carry on. Bowl.
I've got to say that Rutherford overthrow was a new nadir for the Windies fielding.
Well, he tried to lob it back to the keeper. I'm buffering slightly, so I might be.
Oh, that's chipped by Butler, but into space and to the fence for one of these.
Now my engine's going. Great guns, I hit the ball. 4 runs, I hit the ball, and it went for 4 runs.
Well, on Ball by Ball summary and jingles, it's Nick Brooke, writer of a wonderful book about Sri Lankan cricket, I'm told, but I'm only told that by Jay Grover, so that doesn't mean very much, let's be honest. If you're listening, Jay, in comes Hussein again. I think I'm back with you, although it's low, and this one is in the air and over the boundary by the looks of things. Yeah, I'm shocking.
Damn! That 6 is on fire.
Well, it was a full ball on off stump, and Butler just threw the hand through it, and it went over long on and cleared the rope, and a man trying to dive and take a catch beyond the boundary, making something of a fool of himself, as he got nowhere near it. Let's see if Hussein can drag something back the last ball of the 9th over. He sort of can, because this is just pushed up too wide mid-off, and they're going to take just the 1 run.
Uncharacteristic from Hussein tonight, 40 off 3.
England's 100 is up, 101 for 1 after 9 overs, and let's hear what people are saying on YouTube and elsewhere.
A lot of chat still about the Muppets. Martley Von Erich says Kermit would be the Billy Bowden of umpiring. Oh, good old Billy Bowden. My namesake, the cricket finger. Will Reynolds' Muppets Christmas Carol is a masterpiece. I really have to confess, I'm not sure, and I might get crucified for this.
It really is.
Quality piece of cinema, that.
I'm not sure I've really watched much of the Muppets.
Well, it's long before your time, so
but yeah, mostly on Muppets chat. Really, Jay Grover says, "Will Reynolds, as always, you are wise." So, but that really, just at the end of the over there, Butler is one thing I think people could take a leap out of his book. He's so good, hitting a couple of boundaries or one, and then just knocking it into space for a single. I feel like so often you see in T20 cricket, or frankly ODIs as well, people will just try one big shot too many. They'll get a shot of adrenaline and then sky one and get out. But Butler is historically very good at just
new bowler into the attack.
The game.
for the 10th over. We will jingle him up after his first ball because he's about to bowl it to Josh Butler. It's short outside leg stump. It's a horrible delivery. He sort of gets away with it because it would have been the widest of wides. And it's just a single.
Yeah, got away with a bit of filth first up. Always a good sign for a bowler.
We're going to have a change after this over. I think a 3-person change as well, possibly. Maybe not. Let's have a look. This is again short and outside the leg stump, and it's going out for a catch, and that's been given. He's suggesting that Salt's got a glove on that. Salt,
Surely review that.
Well, Salt doesn't seem to be very sure, but which means to suggest that he's not convinced that he didn't hit it, and I think he's just going to walk up.
Oh, he hasn't even reviewed. It was absolute filth, wasn't it?
Down the leg side, he went to pull it. He must have got a little glove, and I thought poor Em was just doing what wicketkeepers sometimes do to try and get the umpire to not call a wide. But
no, it looks like a clear bit of glove, and I think it deserves this.
The first thing I learned from Gorilla Cricket is shit takes wickets. Shit takes wickets, inducing a poor shot that don't clear the tickets. Yeah, shit takes wickets. Shit takes wickets.
Well, it does. And we're having a drink break for some reason. Why are we having a drink break?
I guess that would have come at 10.
That's quite clever. Well, I like it when cricket does this in effort to help himself, because they may as well have it now because it's so near the 10th over mark that it just makes sense.
It doesn't do much for our routers, which is the most important thing.
But Salt will be really pissed off about that, won't he? He was going great, and to get out to a bit of filth just as he's looking to kick on is not ideal.
Yeah, a pretty poor delivery. I mean, the thing is, I immediately thought he hadn't touched it because the way he turned around, in hindsight, it was obviously an absolute disgust at the shot he just played. But he almost caught up with it, really. It maybe stayed in the pitch slightly, and he just threw the shot so early that he managed to get a glove on it.
The remarkable thing about it is that poor Em caught it because he's had an absolutely shocking series with the gloves.
Yeah, he's clung on to 2 tonight.
Yeah, those are actually the hardest to take when the edge is very close to them.
I've got to say, I was surprised that Shea Hope wasn't taking the gloves tonight after the horror show Poran had on Thursday.
I think I agree with you. But those of us who call for better wicket keeping tend to be repeatedly overlooked. Are there any super chats? I haven't heard any super chats, so you're failing us, listeners.
Yeah, we could do with some, couldn't we?
Come on, let's get some going to keep us through the.
And I should say, back to the important stuff, my dad loves Muppets Christmas Carol so much that one year he made us watch it on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And it's an every year in the Brooks household. I can't think there's too many.
It's one of the great films.
It is, yeah. For my money, the Muppets' best work.
Oh, it's
well, just in the break, we may as well just go to a few socials, guys. Jay Grover says, Billy Bowden is the Miss Piggy of Ego. There's a lot more Muppet chat still. Will Reynolds says, if by wise you mean Muppet obsessed, then yes. M says Muppet chat sums this place up. And Carl Robert says Hendo would be the grumpy old man in the balcony. M says Messi would be Fozzie, and M says Billy is that shrimp. So you guys might have to fill me in on the references. And Will says Billy, you've got to educate yourself regarding Muppets. They're the best philosophers to listen to. Well, I studied philosophy, Will, at school, and they didn't come up then, so I'm not so sure about that.
Another lacuna in the national curriculum, let's put it that way. The new batsman is...
Here we are. None other than...
And he's left-handed, so the first ball from Roston is full on middle stump and just nudged up to wide mid on for a single.
Still hasn't managed one in the batter's half yet, Roston. They've all been half trackers, haven't they?
One niche thing about Jacob Bethel, guys. His sister is at university with me, so I always chew her ear off about cricket, and I think she frankly gets quite bored of it. I think.
Have you pumped up her information? As
oh, I thought you were going for something else there, Fred.
This is short again.
Is there an LB shout there?
Well, it's another short, horrible ball, and it was an attempted pull by Butler. He missed the ball, and it's hit him somewhere on the body. But he's just bowled 4 short balls, which is ludicrous.
And there's the leg stump half volley.
Yeah, which is just pickled out to deep backward square. They're only going to take one, I think. So this, I mean, it's been a terrible over from Chase, and he's taken, well, 5 balls. He's taken 1 for 3. So if anything does prove that jingle correct, then that last jingle you played, then I think this is it. Anyway, 1 ball, and then we'll have a change. And Bethel is going to face it from Roston Chase, who took 8 wickets in the 10th innings against England, unbelievably, in 2019. He's right arm round the wicket, and this is just pushed back up the wicket. The bowler himself feels they take a single. The end of the 10th over. England are 105 for 2, and I'll be back later.
Well, I'm also going. I think I just heard the sound. Well, we'll see him here. Yes, I think it is. It's the bear. I was just about to say. I think I just heard the sound of a can being opened, which means you must be on the stint there.
It's Saturday night, Billy. Why not? You know.
Oh no! Don't worry. I've got the Madry right here.
Nice, good man.
Don't worry. I'll see you in a few overs.
Okay, see you in a bit. And we're joined by Ajit.
Hello, good evening.
Evening, Ajit.
Well, hi, and well, if normally for the rest of the world when you hear the sound of a bear, you'll probably hear a growl. This is a special one. You'll hear the can being opened.
Well, it's evening
The
time.
crack of the can, the Irish cricket.
Well, we're going to New Zealand next. It's all overnight. There'll be a fair few beers in that one as well.
And Moti for his second. Bethel rocks back and hooks out to deep backward square for an easy, lazy Saturday night single. And Bear is taken.
of Jacob Bethel's promotions? Sorry to cut you off.
Not at all, Ajit. I really like the look of him, and I think him coming in at 4 makes sense given the top 3's all right-handers. It's a good chance for him to sort of explode and see what he can do here.
There's some consistency and some experience behind him, Livingston and Curran, so he has nothing to worry.
Oh, it's more filth. It's wide and it's short. And the Windies have really lacked control this innings, as they have done all series, to be honest. But Akil Hussain and Moti have been their shining lights or their saving graces to an extent, but not tonight. That one's at least on the stumps, on leg stump, and Butler tickles it into the leg side for a single.
In that previous ball there, it looked like a plan almost. He expected Butler to run at him. Usually Moti is very accurate. That's his forte, actually.
Possibly looking for a stumping, but just came out wrong.
And it looked too choreographed that Butler didn't move, right? So he gave the ghost away.
And that's more on the money, just on off stump. Bethel takes it and drags it to long on for a single. And Bear has taken over on the jingles now, so apologies and thank you to everyone who sat through my debut effort.
I did notice you were doing it. You fell into the classic double click trick.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah,
so one click.
It's only 1 click.
Well, you didn't give me a huge amount of information.
Well, I didn't. We like sink or swim on this show.
Oh, there he is.
Oh dear.
Butler pulls out the reverse, but it is straight to the fielder at I want to say backward point.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking how risky a shot that the one he just played now. I mean,
yes.
Any chance you miss it, it was a faster ball.
Faster ball full on his stumps, he would have been stoned at LBW. And he goes for it again. The ball is wide and it goes straight into the ground. No timing. Joss's smile is not on his face. He's looking pretty grumpy about that one. So a better over.
There are 2 missed opportunities there.
Yeah, and a better over from the West Indies. The small towers have been few and far between, but Moti has got through that one for just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in the context of the innings, that's a really good over.
Same from Chase, actually. He was bowling filth. But anything on the socials?
Yes. Bear is very Dr. Teeth, I think, says Will Reynolds. Who's Dr. Teeth? I don't know. Steve Rousseau says England barely won the series because of Paul Rand's lacklustre and he didn't finish. And Dave Durrell says, evening, why have they black armbands on? Who died? Oh, no. That's
Good
an interesting
question.
one. No idea.
I've got no idea either. Ajit, you got any clues to that?
I'm going to check. Not off the top of my head.
And on your point about reverse, whatever it was, I'm pretty certain that some Indians did that in 287 against the Saffers the other day. You've got to take your chances, haven't you?
Yeah, God, Tilak Varma batted fantastically, didn't he?
Absolutely. Look, I was looking at the average scores on this ground. This is one of the highest scoring West Indian grounds when it comes to T20. So average score is 170 first innings. So England are pretty much on track. They'll want to put 100 180 plus, 190 plus, given where they are.
Wow, they've
They
got
have wickets
8 wickets left in hand, and they're going out 10 and over. So yeah, I'd have thought.
Yeah, where do we think they're going to end up? I see him clearing 200 here.
Well, me too.
And Chase bowls it short, but it's on the stumps, just turning a little bit, and it's a dot ball. So he's bowled quite a lot of shite, but through 7 balls, he's got a wicket and 5 runs.
Well, let's see where the run line is, shall we?
Yeah, I think so, Bear.
Oh, did I not paste that one? Oh, what a bummer.
And there, Bethel pulls out the reverse. He doesn't get a hold of it either. It goes right over Nicky Poran's head to a single to sort of long stop. The man comes around from 45 to field that. So Bethel and Butler both trying to go reverse and both struggling to get it out of the infield.
Well, they've only got the run line at 201.5
high
here.
enough.
That's about where I'd have it. I wouldn't know whether to go under or over for that.
Oh, well, that's the whole point.
Yeah. But sometimes you see it and you love it, don't you, Bear?
Yeah, well, you do.
And he's got hold of that one. That looks like it's
the way
clear
it should play.
defence.
Well, I would say, to be honest, yeah, it's one of these. The way England are batting, I think that's quite low. I think England might well get 220 here. I've got a sneaking suspicion.
Well, yeah, I do agree, but if they lose a couple of wickets quickly, it could peg them back a little bit.
Not really at 11.4 overs with 8 wickets in the hand.
No,
So I think you don't. It's difficult to peg someone back too much from here. Because you've got so many wickets in hand. I mean, they can lose a wicket and over.
No, I take your point, Bear, but I think
And
if
smash a 6
you
and
know,
a 4.
Butler were to go and then Livingston were to go early, the others might. But I see him clearing 200. You're right. I might take a bit of that over.
Well, I have.
As Chase comes in again, well, I'll join you, and Butler pulls out the little ramp that gets inside the 45 man. Obed McCoy, and it runs away to the fence for 4.
Well, that's 12 off this over.
Yeah, karma catches up with you, doesn't it?
No. He had only one really bad ball there, and that went for 6. This was just a manufactured hit. But for me, I think they're playing into England hands by bowling a little bit faster. Both these spinners are bowling faster and sort of they're whacking it in, wanging it in, or whatever you call it. So they're playing into England's hands. They should probably slight it.
Yeah, that was fast and flat again and full, and Butler gives it a good crack, but long on gets round to field and it'll just be 1. So by the time I got to the over, it had gone up to 209, so it was rising rapidly.
What do you mean? Right, just now?
Yeah, just now.
Oh, right, okay.
So what was that,
good.
couple
Yeah,
of
because
balls?
that was a 6 and a 4.
Yeah.
They added on and carry on going. Our mad old bat is on Blue Sky. She's trying my first Blue Skies. YouTube still not letting me post. I don't understand why YouTube is not letting you post, Hattie. That's kind of odd. Back on YouTube. Mint, Adjit, ASSMR lad. Love him.
All right. Thank you.
Mark Zip says, black armbands of a revered Somerset supporter and fundraiser who died at the age of 90. Mary Elworthy. Oh, thank you very much for that, Zippy. And Muttley says, thanks. Zip was just reading on The Guardian myself. So there you go.
So Moti in for his 3rd. It's on leg stump and Butler picks it up. It's a hockey shot and it's gone miles back for 6 over long on.
Anyone who thinks they're only getting 200 here is...
Well, they may have to revisit that.
And Hussein, Akka Hussein is the one we've... it's not Akka, it's Moti, isn't it? We've struggled with him as well in this series.
Hussein's gone round the park tonight as well.
Yeah,
so
yes, both of them have, haven't they? And they're the two that have basically stemmed England's flow of runs at any one time.
I mean, I think it was a show of despair that Rovman took to bowling for the first time in the series. That's a real no one's putting their hand up sort of signal, isn't it?
Yes, it is indeed.
And we've got, 2 from Moti left, 1 from Hussein and the rest from the seamers. So yeah, England look to cash in here. It's short again. Butler rocks back into his crease but hits it straight to cover for no run.
Well, I mean, they got 6 off the first ball of the over as well, didn't they? We have one of these.
And once again he tries the reverse. It's straight to the fielder at short 3rd man, Roston Chase I think it was. And that will be the end of Josh Butler. 38 off 23. It's a good knock, but he hasn't gone on.
He hasn't, Josh.
They got the angle right for that catch.
Well, it's one of these. We have to say goodbye to Josh.
I won't look back, 'cause by the time that I do, you'll be gone.
Well, Jay says, I refuse to send any more super chats until I'm allowed to insult the titmouse, not Fred. Well, you can insult them. You can insult him all you like. I'm sure Fred's got the hide of a rhino. They might not get read out though, but everyone on YouTube will see them, so that's all right. Lockie says, "Is this live? I've lost a few days." Yes, it is, Lockie. Will says, "Dr. Teeth is in the band, the Electric Mayhem." I don't even know the Electric Mayhem. So there you go. Oh, we have another super chat as well. I'm not going to play the jingle again, but it's Mark Arnold, £5. Maybe you get a super chat jingle, Mark, because
Top man, Mark.
Use your bright super chat.
He says, "Thanks for the entertaining commentary. I've got to send one last time." Well, thank you very much, Mark. Appreciated, as always.
So we got Livy in at 5.
And he's got a jingle. Goes a bit like this.
I am Livingston. I play for the Lightning. My one-day kit is blue, but for the tests it's white.
Never looks very happy, Liam Livingston. Got an expression that sort of straddles angry and anguished, but he gives the ball a good crack. He started off gently, just tickling it into the leg side, out to deep mid-wicket for a single.
Stage is set perfectly for somebody like Liam Livingston. He can get away with a 30 of 17 or something, and England will never look back. Whether he's staying in the crease or not, it's perfectly set. So I think he's going to take advantage of this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's swing from ball 1, isn't it? Or ball 2.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah.
I mean, take 4 or 5 balls, get your eye in, get the
Well,
range.
exactly. I mean, Livingston's got the power to really catch up, so...
And Bethel gets that away through point. It's out to deep point for a single. So decent recovery from Moti after
8
leaking
and a
a
wicket he'll
maximum.
take.
8 and a wicket, after 6 off the first is not bad. 1 ball to come in his third over. West Indies are...
We may have jinxed him by just counting that. Let's hope not. But if you look at the field now, there's a slip. There's a catching slip, and there are some close-in catching fielders also on the off.
And it's
That's
full
good
and
captaincy.
straight, and Livy just claps it back to him. So that's the end of the over. 131 for 3 after 13. West Indies just staging a little bit of a fight back, having leaked a fair few through the first 10.
Absolutely.
So Curran, Mousley and Overton to come.
They have some firepower, no doubt. Anything on the socials?
Yeah, loads. Based on Dr. John, Will Reynolds says... Oh, right. Electric Mayhem, that is. Philip Shaw says, Janet is the only Muppet to really look as if everyone were Muppets. I don't know what he means by that. Steve Russo says, you can't buy the game, it's natural. I don't know what everyone's talking about here. Who was your favourite Muppet, says Jay Grover, at Steve Russo. Animal, obviously.
Yeah, I like Kermit.
Kermit, yeah, well, Kermit is, yeah. He's alright.
And chasing for his third over. Bethel gets that not quite out the middle of the bat, but it skews away to the boundary behind backward point.
And it's 4 runs.
He's bowling. He's bowling well up in the 110s, almost 105, 108. That's a 108. He's a big lad, and he can wang it down if required. But that's the problem, right?
Yeah,
he just managed to time it.
Fast and flat, and it didn't look like he was trying to turn that at all. It looked like it might have been a backspinner or something. Just trying to get one to skid on a bit. I don't. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him flight one, although he might disappear into the stands.
But that's a chance you get of miscuing going straight up in the air. I mean, as a spinner, you should be able to give a 1-6 away in an over in a T20.
Yeah, it's the risk-reward equation, isn't it? But he's flat again. It's short, and Bethel comes down the track and nudges it to long on for another single.
Frankly, you'll need a very understanding captain and a very big boundary to accommodate that. But at least that's the theory, isn't it?
Yeah, not these short boundaries and a captain under pressure who hasn't been able to find any control all series long.
Nonetheless, look, they have brought the run rate down. They have dismissed one of the set batters.
Yeah, and they've been
They're
waiting
still
for
in
their
it.
chance to bat under lights all
we're gonna have a
180 is still something you can look to chase, right? It's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, you've got to go for the outs, and they've struggled going for the outs, haven't they?
They have. It's short from chase again. Livy comes down and just slaps it to the man at short mid-wicket. No run. And I do think that teams, especially teams under pressure, when you see 200 plus score, it gets in your head, doesn't it?
I'm going unders all the way, mate.
I'll be with you, babe. You've served me well so far. Chases in again. It's full on leg stump. It's a full toss, but Livy just is happy to clip it out to long on for a single.
I mean, what? So, I mean, they're still going along at 10 and over. And they've still got 5 overs. I mean, the last 5, they're going to really go for it. And they've still got 7 wickets to do it.
Yeah, and I think we've got 1 more from Moti, 1 more from Chase after this, 1 more from Hussain. So then we've got 4 of pace to close out. And the seamers have been wayward and profligate, haven't they?
Yep, and you have to
I
say
don't think you'll have much more from McCoy. Maybe Joseph 1 over the
Oh,
last over.
little scoop from Jacob Bethel.
That's
It
a
didn't
good
look like
shot.
he got much on it, but he's timed it because it's raced away to the boundary almost straight behind the wicket keeper.
That's a great little shot. Timed that really well.
Yeah, he's a good timer of the ball, isn't he, Jacob Bethel, and a
Yeah.
clever player.
I really like him, I've got to
Classier.
say.
He may get a longer run also in the longer formats.
Well, it'll be
I think he's
interesting
been
to
set
see
up.
if he gets the bat. I'd be tempted. I don't know what sort of batsman he is in longer form game, but he looks like he'd handle number 3 quite well. Style of.
Maybe he'll start at 6 and 7 and then come
Well,
up with
the thing is,
yeah.
the only spot that really open is 3.
Number 3, fair enough. It does feel unfair on a guy debuting to push up to 3 against
Listen, you got to fit into the
friendly
team. I don't think you can muck around with a team. Go on, just slide the ball aside.
Well, he's just clipped it into the leg side for a single to keep the strike at the end of the over, and I'd love to see him thrown into the cauldron in New Zealand. I know he doesn't have a huge amount of first-class runs behind him, but
But
he
he
just
looks like he's got a technique, doesn't he?
got a technique, and he's got confidence.
Yeah, he looks certainly
Oh,
looks that way.
absolutely.
It can be stripped away from you in a second in a test match, but especially
let's
in a
hope
series, three failures and that'll be it.
But I
But
said it the other night, he's got that same thing that Harry Brook had and Joe Root had when
Yeah.
they first came to England. They just looked like they knew what they were about.
yes, exactly. I like this one. Mark Zip says, "Lol, we played Livingston's jingle perfectly on point as he was pricing up the Stone Roses album at that very moment. It'll be Wilkes Bar Record Show next weekend. How much is that original pressing, first pressing? How much is that worth?"
Moti
Zip.
back into the attack, and he gets away with a dot ball first up, fields it himself off a mistimed stroke back from him from Bethel.
While looking at the remaining bowlers, I think McCoy will bowl out. I don't think Akil Hussain will bowl again today for Australia.
Very uncharacteristic from Hussain going from 40 off 3. That time it's
Oh,
full, and
there you
Bethel
go.
gets a piece of it straight down the ground
That's
for
a
4.
great shot.
Beautifully timed.
That was a good
Clean
shot.
yeah.
Kept his shape so it went straight instead
Yeah, and
of going a
hung
bit wider.
deep in the crease.
Yeah, lovely. Oh, that was a little
Straight
beer
back.
burp. I love this from Muttley. He just says his favourite Muppet is Boris Johnson. I'm with you on that one, man.
Well, I don't know enough about Muppets, and I was once told in an interview, if you had told that, I mean, after I joined the work, they told me, if you had told us during our the interview you didn't know anything about Muppets, we wouldn't have hired you.
And he's hung deep again and clobbered that over the leg side. It's gone high in the air and high into the stands. 6 runs. Jacob Bethel has found his timing.
That's a lovely shot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Clean again. He does look like he hit that hard, but it was more timing. It went very far. These are big boundaries. I don't know. I have to check. Maybe a good 95 meters.
Yeah, well, it's cleared it by a good, 10 metres?
Exactly. It cleared the stand behind the boundary, and then that's 9,500 meters. That's not a bad shot at all. This guy looks perfectly set up. What he gives you is that additional oomph in the field. You can put him anywhere, outfield, infield. He's so lively. It's very nice to see him field.
Yeah, dynamite in the field, bowls a bit of spin. He's a very promising cricketer, isn't he? Again, he hangs back and just clips that through mid-wicket. It'll be an easy single out to the man coming in from the fence.
You know, we were telling the spinners they should be flighting it. I don't think Moti and Chase will...
No, I think it's getting flatter
tag
and
us
flatter from here.
Yeah.
So
the moment they
Moti's,
saw flight, it was tonked behind their
Moti and Hussain
head
have
or
gone
hit straight
from
over.
78 combined, so they've been the lifeline they've offered the West Indies in the first 3 games is not there tonight.
Certainly isn't.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that one, Livingston gets through extra cover. It's going to be a couple as I think that's Evan Lewis coming round to cut it off. So that'll be 10, 11, 13 from Moti's first 5. How can he close out?
Well, we saw a couple of very silky shots. That 4 and this double, they were test match shots. Just the high elbow was missing.
Yeah, it doesn't all have to be crush bang wallop. A bit of timing goes a long way, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Certainly does.
And that
Oh
is
dear.
crashed, but I don't think he's got
Oh.
enough of it. And the man at Cal Corner is Shimron Hetmeyer, and he's underneath it to take the catch. Livingston is gone for 4 from 6.
Livy. Can't it be a noble?
No, it's not that.
No, I think he's got below waist height.
He was sitting down.
And with
He was
these
sort of looking to sweep that. So
with these boundaries crashing, my 5 overs has flown by, and I think I'm off.
You are indeed. Hendo's supposed to be coming in. We're being joined by Billy.
See you later.
Are we seeing you later? Yeah, we're seeing
Yes.
Ajit after the break, and Hendo is going to come in and give you ball by ball for the last bit. All right, Billy, how are you, mate? You're on mute, I think. Certainly can't hear you.
There we go.
There you go.
Help.
I was interested.
No, I'm well.
Good. So, I was off last time, but as I was going out, you're saying something about Saturday night students don't go out in town. What is this? Do the old Geordies do a bit of student bashing out there?
Well, it's locals night. It can get a bit kind of rowdy.
Feisty.
You don't, a bit feisty, especially if Newcastle have been playing football. You don't necessarily want to be
Yeah, no, that's fair
want to be
enough.
caught out.
No,
I guess
okay,
That's
fair enough.
kind of the rule.
I
But,
guess-
but tonight we are.
I guess especially if Newcastle have lost.
That's what I'm saying.
And you're wearing
Which
the
they've been doing a fair bit of. Well, they haven't been winning, they haven't been losing.
and you're wearing the colours of the team that beat them. That would be that would be
well,
almost suicidal,
I'm
wouldn't it?
going to. I'm a big Liverpool fan, and I'm actually going to St James's Park to watch Liverpool Newcastle in a few weeks. So
Are you going to the way end, or have you got?
away end. I'm not risking that.
Yeah.
not risking a little sudden cheer when Salah scores.
Let's hope so. We've had a cracking start to the season, haven't we? I mean, who'd have thought?
Yeah.
Well, it's the left-handed blonde twins together, Bethel and Curran.
Ah.
Bethel's looked $1 million so far, hasn't he? He's facing up to Alzari Joseph from the pavilion end. He's in, and he wraps him high up on the thigh pad. The ball drops into the offside. They won't be able to get through for a run there. Curran batted beautifully in the last T20. Got I think top score of 41.
Yeah, he's been batting well this series, it has to be said.
Hasn't been bowling very well.
No, but he's an all-rounder, so he's doing something right.
Well, Bethel is on 27 from 16, and I get more impressed every time I see him. I really do. I know he's yet to do it in the longer format. I'm not sure whether he meant it there.
Well,
He's
good shot.
crafted a little shot backward a square. It's gone a lot finer, the perhaps, than he thought. But if he did mean it, it was a tremendous shot. It's gone down to third man for 4. He is very strong, isn't he, in that backward a square position on the offside.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing him in the Test arena. I mean, I know he's in the squad against New Zealand, of course. I mean, he's not in line to make a debut necessarily, but he's such an exciting prospect.
Absolutely. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment. Joseph Bowles, he pulls, didn't really get hold of that. It's going to run rather slowly out to the deep middle wicket, but they will get a single. He goes to 32, 160 for 4.
Well, he gets Pope's slot in the side, doesn't he?
I don't think it's going to happen, is it? Because they really want Pope to come good again, don't
Pope
they?
has been
They'll back Pope till the summer, till the start of the summer, I think. English summer.
I think it's too
and then
late.
they'll give him a couple of tests and then see how he goes.
I kind of think they might be excited by Bethel and might, if he fails in the first test, they might give him 2 tests, and if he doesn't do anything in the first 2 tests, they might give Bethel a go in the third.
Yeah, absolutely. Joseph in, Bowles onto the back foot goes Curran this time, who is almost indistinguishable from Bethel.
The only thing I would say is if you give Crawley that many chances, it wouldn't necessarily stick with the English. I know they're giving Pope a few. It wouldn't necessarily stick with the English way to then not give Pope a bit more time. And I would also say if they then did switch Bethel in for the next 2 test matches, and let's say he struggled, it's quite difficult to almost go crawling back to Ollie Pope and saying, actually, we want you back. So it would be a big call.
Yep, Joseph in to Curran, who flicks his away really nicely past the man on the 45 who's chasing after it. It slows up on this really, I don't know, difficult, sandy outfield. It's not as sandy as it was the other night. They got through for 2, so Curran is off the mark, 162 for 4. Yeah, I mean, I think I would like to see Bethel in that side, even though he hasn't got people are talking about his county championship record, but to be honest, how many county championship matches has he played? I'm not 100% sure. But they've got to find a way of getting Jordan Cox in, because he's their wicketkeeper. In comes Bethel. In comes Joseph, and another piece of awful fielding, as this is jabbed down to the man on the 45 on the offside. And again, they got through for 2.
So 9 off the over.
The outfielding, the ground fielding from the West Indies has been really dreadful in this white ball series.
Just on Bethel, he's played 20 first-class matches, high score of 93, and an average of 25.
Which ain't great.
It's not great, but
ain't great. But I don't think you can read too much into it these days, and I definitely don't think the England management will.
No, that's very true.
He also brings a lot into the field, as does Jordan Cox, who I think is arguably the best ground fielder in the country.
But unfortunately, he's going to be keeping wicket.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's so Smith. He comes in for Smith, doesn't he, Jordan Cox? I can't see anyone else in that order missing out. I mean, Pope is the vulnerable one, I guess.
Pope is the most vulnerable.
Okay. Chase is going to bowl. 16 overs bowled, 164 for 4. England arrowing in on a 200 score. It looks like there's nothing much in this pitch for the bowlers, certainly. Chase is in. It's a full toss. It's driven. It came off a thick outside edge from Bethel. A rare mistimed shot. And goes to backward point. They
do look very similar, don't they?
They do. I mean, actually, Curran is technically quite proficient, I think, and can hit the ball. They're both quite slight looking, but they don't half time the ball well. Anyway, Chase it is. Into Bethel, gives himself room, goes for a massive pull. Has he got enough on that? I think he has. He's got way too much on it if you're a West Indies fan. Well over the boundary. 6 more.
One toke over the line, sweet Jesus, one toke over the line.
Yeah, dragged that down. Horrible delivery. He'd made loads of room for himself. I followed him, but he'd still created enough, and it was short enough for him to put a lot of bottom hand into that and carry it across.
Fantastic bat speed.
Oh yes,
to get that, because he didn't really hit it correctly.
So 170 for 4. Chase in again. Bowled to Bethel. It's short again. He's gone for it once more, and this one is flatter, but it's the same result. It's only cleared the boundary by about a yard, but it's still 6 runs.
And technically,
smack it in the air, beyond the boundary. Smack it in the air.
bit of a miss hit still.
Maximum.
Enough of a miss hit to go over the boundary. The boundaries are really short.
The boundaries everywhere are too short.
Roston Chase needs to try and throw one outside wide and out of Bethel's arc here. You have to think.
Yeah, well, he's gone down the ground this time. I'm not sure he's got enough on this. Yes, he has.
Certainly has.
Amazing. 3 sixes in a row. You just never can tell. It's 50 for Bethel from 22 balls. Wow. I love the fact that actually you can be incredibly fresh, because if you hit 4 4s and 4 6s, you've hit 40 of your 50 runs in boundaries.
Yeah, I mean that's a truly terrible delivery. To be perfectly honest with you, you haven't been already hit for 2 6s. You've got to throw it wider.
This is Fuller. He's back over the wicket now, and Bethel decides to just force this up to long on for a single.
I mean, England really should get to about 220 from here.
Well, they should, but sometimes when you're hitting and you're going for the big shots, suddenly you can get a bunch of balls that just go up in the air and get caught.
True.
And that can really slow you down.
But I mean, he's on fire, isn't he? 51 of 23.
Well, he is at the moment. I mean, but we've seen so often in T20 cricket can change around very quickly.
The odds that you get on, if he faces 6 more balls and scores 20 more runs, and then gets out. The thing is, you've got 6 wickets left, and you've only got what 22 balls, including this one.
Curran's tried to smash that over mid-on, but he rather inside edged it onto his toe. And so there is no run. It's the end of the over. Who's doing socials?
Billy.
Yeah,
Billy.
it's me on socials. Quite a lot of chat between Jay Grover and Muttley between them. But Lockie says Bear has a ball patch that you can see when he's fixing tech issues.
Does he?
Apparently so.
I don't have a ball patch. My hair's thin.
Thinning. It's
Thin.
Thinning.
I'll give you that. So it might look bald, but I don't actually have a receding hairline.
Frank Rockefeller says make cricket great again, which I assume could potentially be in reference to Donald Trump, who, depending on your political sway, is either a nightmare.
Oh God!
Well, no, he's actually, he is a nightmare. I think we can generally say that without.
Good. Unless you're American.
Well, I mean, the fact is that being English, it's quite fascinating. I mean, because I obviously disagree with him, but thankfully he's not in charge of me.
Well, it's in a sense he is, because if Britain tries to tie itself to America and absent itself from Europe even more, then I don't think that's going to work. In trade terms, anyway. This is smashed by Bethel. He didn't really get hold of it, and it's dropped short of deep mid wicket as McCoy comes back into the attack. He's bowled 2 overs for 18. Right at the top in the power play. Bethel moves to 52. England in the 18th over, 184 for 4.
He's just got. Sorry, go on there.
No. I was just going to say, I kind of look at it like a goldfish. They're an experiment at the moment. America. And it's kind of they're interesting to watch.
Well, it is in one way, but it's also, I think it's quite scary.
Well, it is.
Well, because the most powerful military in the world, Macau is hit to cow. Macau was hit to koi corner. That'd be good to have a koi corner, wouldn't it? Anyway, that's a single for Curran.
Well, I guess you either go down America's like Doctor Strangelove, in which case we're all fucked, or you actually believe that there's really sane people actually who wouldn't allow it to happen.
Well, I think you've just got to hope that the advisors do their job, to be honest, and keep them in line. But we'll see.
I'm not. Having read about who's the youngest press manager ever in the White House, this is a terrible ball, well wide of the off stump. They're trying to bowl that line that is just inside the wide guidance line, but he got it horribly wrong. So it is a wide. 186 for 4.
At the end of that over, Jacob Bethel was almost laughing to himself. International cricket is supposed to be difficult in his fledgling career. He hasn't found it too hard.
No, he's had a couple of failures,
especially
really,
in
hasn't
this series.
Yeah.
McCoy in again to Bethel. Oh, and he's done him there, really, with a slower ball, and he was through the shot so early. He almost went down on one leg trying to heave it into the onside, so that's a little bit of a result for the bowler. And a rare dot ball. I mean, the thing is,
bowling into the wicket and off-pace deliveries, you'd think have actually worked for West Indies. Hopefully, England can learn a bit from that.
I wonder though. We got to think about the dew, and how difficult it is to grip the ball once the dew comes down. McCoy in wide of the off stump, and again he doesn't time that. He's trying to cut it. It almost got a bottom edge to his cross bat effort, and somehow it ran down to long on rather slowly for a single. Bethel moves to 53, 187 for 4.
Yeah, but if you get 200 on the board at any time, 200 on the board is quite a testing score.
I think 200 on the board is always good. Yeah, absolutely. But then you look at India. That India's almost third team, because India and India A are both out on tour.
Well, they're test time, so there are.
Well, no, but there are plenty of people who would be in a one-day or in a T20 side in those teams. Another clever slower ball from McCoy into the pitch, and Curran is just stays with it long enough to get it into the onside and out to deep mid wicket for another single. But this has been a pretty good over.
No, we got
from McCoy.
5 off it so far, but it doesn't really matter when you're going at 10 and over, does it? I suppose. I mean, this is it. 200 should be an absolute cert with 2 overs left.
Yeah.
And they'll be looking for 210, 220. If they can scoot up to 220, which they could do with a big over, they'll be more than happy.
here is McCoy to finish off his third. He's a full one, and he's been. Well, the O has been spoiled because Bethel has picked that up, and that is a wonderful shot. That was a slower ball, but he was ready for it on this occasion. He'd seen it several times in this over. It was much fuller, and it's a glorious shot over mid-wicket.
It was the bluff or not, and too many really, weren't there? There was 4 in the over, 5 in the over.
And also because that was fuller, I think.
Yeah.
More YouTubes.
Lockie, this is in reference to Bear's ball patch again. Calling BS, Bear has a total bald zone on the middle of the back of his head. It's not abuse, just an observation. I think you should lean right in front of the camera, Bear, for the...
I don't have a ball patch.
There's a little bit of one. Well, I don't know. It's pretty thin, if not bald.
It's thin.
Sorry,
it's not bald. I think. I mean, all of us...
There's a grey area.
I haven't got a monk's cap or whatever it is, put it that way.
Monk's cap. I think that's a bit harsh on the Bear. I mean, I'll support the Bear here.
Mark Zip, this might be on the Donald Trump theme, says keep him in line. Lol. Have you seen the I assume means psychopath that he's installing? Oh, you sweet summer child. Now back to the Muppets. Which gorilla is the Swedish chef? I don't know if you not.
I'm not really a Muppet fan, to be honest. The only Muppet I really know is Miss Piggy and Kermit. And then there's some old bloke, isn't there? In comes Joseph, full toss, driven by Curran. He's got enough on it, sails over the man at long on. You couldn't do that with an old bat, to be honest.
No.
30 years ago, that would have been a lovely little catch for long on.
Exactly, but this time it's one of these.
2, 4, 6.
That just reminded me of an Indo's article that he posted on the WhatsApp. Were you thinking of that when you said it?
No,
Greg
but,
Chappell's.
Well, yeah, that was an I couldn't understand. There was
there's a lot of bullshit in that.
Well, 200 is up for England. I'll tell you that. This has been the quickest 50. 22 balls. Bettel 59. Curran now 12. And Joseph is coming in to bowl to Curran, and Curran pulls it. He heaves it up to long on this time. He'll take a single. 201 for 4.
Stuff. I was interested to know what kind of stuff goes around on the Guerrilla Cricket WhatsApp.
Well, you better join it. Are you not on it?
We should invite you.
I'm not on it.
Well, I'm sure Tony will add you.
Any one of us can add you. I don't have your phone number, so I need your phone number to be able to add you.
There were 2 interesting articles. One was posted to just the head honchos of Gorilla. This comes off the pad, a foolish ball from Alzari Joseph. They'll take a single to backward square leg. There were 2 articles. One that Messi Jez sent to Tony, the Bear, and me, which was some comments that Usman Khawaja had been making. I think he was commentating on the T20 between Australia and Pakistan, and he was talking about the pitches. I mean, I guess he means the pitches, particularly in Australia.
He was talking about a more raised seam on a kookaburra.
Yeah, he was talking about a raised seam. There's a much more raised seam on the kookaburras. This is outside the leg stump. It's whipped away. Beautiful shot. Oh, I thought that was going for 4. But Roston chases down there, and it's just a single for Curran. He goes to 14 from 9. Bettel has 59 from 28. No, it's a fascinating article, though. And it was sort of... It gave a verbatim the comments that Khawaja had made. And he was talking about the raised seam and also the pitches, and he was saying, like, you were getting marks and divots in the pitch. The ball was moving off the pitch much more.
Oh my God!
I know.
God forbid.
Well, absolutely. Joseph, and again, he's aiming at that full leg stump line, and it's been successful again because it's run off Bethel's pad into the offside, and they've only been able to get through for a leg by. So a good recovery after his first ball went sailing over long on for 6. No, but it's quite fascinating that he's saying this. It kind of makes you think how easy batsmen have had it, in a sense. Australian batsmen have perhaps had it. So he was basically saying that the batsmen feel now that there is a ball with their name on it. So they try to score more quickly. Hang on, let me finish the point. As he's about to finish the over, this is clipped away again. I'm going to be a single. Oh, they might get 2. Is Lewis, I think, coming round, and they do get 2. Curran moves to 16. End of the 19th over. England have made it to 206 for 4. What can they get from the last over? Just to finish off that thought, it's basically saying so they don't think they can bat for 200 balls, basically, and so they go after it much more. And then the Greg Chappell, not in response but separately, was basically talking about the techniques of batsmen, of the holding the bat in the air, and that they're back on their heels these days rather than on the balls of their feet. And this stops them getting into line, it stops them their foot movement, they've got much wider stances. I've always asked a couple of coaches about this. I mean, Peterson was a prime example, one of the first. You know, if you look at his stance, his legs are about almost a yard apart.
Yeah,
and the bat comes in front of the back foot. Joseph is off and McCoy is on, and he starts the final over, and it's smashed down the ground. Thought for a moment it might go all the way, but the man at long off has got round, and it's just a single. Bethel
Do you guys
goes
think
to
England
60.
can get 220 here?
Well,
I think what they'll be aiming for. 13 left to get it.
Yeah, exactly. I think they'll want 2 or 3 more boundaries, and that's going to get them close, isn't it?
So to carry on with that conversation, Greg Chappell is, and some of us have said it here quite a lot on Guerrilla Cricket, is that, you see some great hitting and you see some marvellous shots, but you don't see a lot of foot movement, you don't see a lot of players getting into line, and you don't see a lot of players that can play the moving ball. McCoy in short, pulled by Curran, probably only going to be a single, straight to Hetmeyer at deep mid-wicket.
Yeah, it is the way, but I quite enjoy it in a test match. I quite like my test matches to move along at pace. I don't want to see someone but yeah, I mean, I appreciate it when there's the odd player in a team and it gets to a sticky situation in a game, but I genuinely don't want to see that. I mean, it's it's tricky because we all want entertainment, and whilst sticking out for draw can be entertaining, generally it's quite...
McCoy's got away with one there. It would have been a wide, but Bethel has gone after it. And all that really good running from Curran to get back for a second there as it went down sort of between long off and long on. 210 for 4, 3 balls left. Bethel 62, Curran 17.
I have to say though, I love it when there's a little niggly almost patch in test match cricket where both sides just figuring themselves out, and it's just...
Yes, that's what I mean. I
really
do like a
tense
patch. Yeah, it is. That's brilliant. That is true.
It doesn't all have to be kind of run rates at 4.5, 5 and over.
But but when they're trying to get away, they do get away these days. Whereas
McCoy again, short but also slow, and they're going to try and run through for a bye.
And they do.
As Bethel missed that one, and Curran has done very well to get down the other end. 211 for 4. I mean, I read that about Usman Khawaja, and you have to take it, seriously, because he's talking about this has changed through in during the duration of his career.
Yeah.
He's saying, first part of his career, it was actually much more easy to score runs, I think, and as an opening bat, McCoy, 2 balls to go. Running in, England have got to wait for it. He does wait for it, and he smashed it. That is like a
baseball shot.
Well, a baseball shot, a tennis shot. I don't know what else sort of shot, but it's gone all the way. It's gone way over, in fact, long on, and it's 6 runs.
Well, nearly 220. If they get a boundary off the last ball, they'll be just over 2. I think that's a big score. I think England have put a stamp down here.
Cricket shot.
It is hard to. It's hard to work out how these guys can do that.
Yeah.
It's way wide. It's way wide of the off stump.
And it's about.
It's almost going to be called a wide on height. It's up at his helmet.
I was going to say
he's hit it for the meters just coming up now. It's got to be high 80s, surely.
No,
79.
Not quite 79.
Final ball of the innings will be bowled to Curran, and McCoy is in. He bowls, and he bowls him a slower, fuller one, and he doesn't wait long enough for it. They're going to run back for 2, but I think he's going to be run out by some distance. Yes, he is. So England will finish on 218 for 4. Curran will be run out for 24. Sacrificed himself in the search for an extra run. McCoy ends up with 4 overs, none for 40. Bethel, what a knock from him, 62 from 32. Earlier on, there was a really good 50 from Phil Salt. Will Jacks batted pretty well, but again didn't manage to go on, and Butler got himself to 38 off 23 balls and then was caught playing the reverse sweep. But wow, well, England, batting for the first time in this series, have certainly put up a very defendable score.
Well, indeed. I mean, you have to think that. I mean, looking at the way the West Indies have bowled, I mean, it'd be interesting to see if England do get more movement in with the ball. I mean, it was noticeable in one of the series earlier that England played in. I can't remember which one it was. It must have been against Australia. That Australia seems to get more movement in the ball than England's bowlers do.
I think it's going to be tricky. I think it's going to be tricky for England, even with 218, because we've seen the problems that the bowling side has had. They're literally, as the second innings rolls on, they are using the towel to dry the ball almost between deliveries. It will skid on a little bit more quickly as well, which will help the kind of batsman like Evan Lewis at the top. And also, you know, you've got Ray and Ahmed. You've got no Adil Rashid, so you've got a relatively inexperienced spinner, and you've got no Jofra Archer. So I think, you know, very much in with the chance here. The West Indies. McCoy went for. Well, no, a lot of people have gone for 40 runs. McCoy went for 40. Hussain went for 40. Would you believe he only bowled 3 overs because he was getting hit so regularly. Moti 4 overs, 2 for 40. Chase 1 for 47 from 4. Joseph 1 for 33, and Powell. I didn't notice Powell come in and bowl 1 over. He did, but it went for 11. But there you go. We'll come to some final tweets. I was just going to say about that. That discussion, it is fascinating. If you got a chance to read that Greg Chappell article, I'm not sure where it was from originally.
I think Wisden India.
Was it Wisden? I think it was Wisden India. Yeah,
it was an Indo sent it, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But and it's worth also trying to track down that Usman Khawaja one, because it's interesting. Although I do think there was a misprint in the Greg Chappell article at the end where he's saying that players are playing not to get out, and I think what he meant is players are playing to get out. Strangely enough, that seemed to me to be the whole basis of the article, really. But there you go. Should we do some final YouTubes and then before we have a little bit of a break and West Indies come into bat?
That sounds good. Jay says, of all the things I'm upset about in the world, I've never realised how outraged I was about Bear's bald patch. A lot of people, but a lot of chat about this bat. Quite a few people coming in to support you, really, saying Mark Arnold says, compared to me, the Bear has the most hirsute crown. I've got a nice shiny head with a few lonesome pines left behind.
Thank you very much.
And a few others. David Borman says, I'm listening to a wonderful commentary while sitting underneath an umbrella as a tropical storm floats through just outside Panama City. So thank you.
Wow.
And then a few more hair chat. Hombre Nuevo, one of the last ones, says the new roulette of tests lasting either 2 days or up to 5, I think has added drama and entertainment. Where we lose out is funding from ticket sales, but the game's flowing more naturally now. Just on that, I was having a look at ticket prices for Lords actually the other day, and have a guess, guys, for the India test, how much restricted seating in the Compton and Edgeridge stand at the top was.
I guess 90 quid
for a day,
maybe more. 120.
Yeah, £115.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
That's outrageous.
Extraordinary. I got one for £65 last year for day 4 of the West Indies test. Day 4 against India, £120.
Well, to be honest,
unbelievable.
Billy, I'm a huge fan of Test cricket, and I'm in here most of the time doing the home Test matches, but I don't really want to go at that price. You know, even when I could afford it,
that will sell out though. They'll sell out.
Well, certainly against India it will. Yeah, totally.
Exactly. So therefore they'll argue, it's a business. We have to price it, but you just have to look at the good. So I was going to go with 4 friends, all kind of early 20-year-olds, and we would have probably paid £80.
Yeah.
But 120 is absolutely ridiculous.
It is madness. It's madness. But just to kind of comment on another subject. Well, another subject that was being discussed about the Bears' bald patch. You could, of course, send in a super chat to raise funds for a weave for the Bear. So
no fucking weave.
In the second innings, if you'd like to super chat us, donating money to the Bear having a weave.
I'm insulted, Hendo.
Well, that was the point, really. Please do, and we'll see how much we can raise for the Bears weave. Until then,
We're going to go back. Someone must have played this before, but I thought we were playing highlights, radio highlights. So here we go. This is Australia-Afghanistan. Maxwell. This is the Maxwell game. We'll see you in probably only about 5 minutes, but we'll see you shortly.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. It was one of those.
Pressure Khan, and he's beating the batter. Stoinis, a huge appeal. The keeper's gone up. Rashid Khan's gone up. I think they're looking for an edge. It was gorgeous delivery, pitching on off stump and turning away from the batter. Stoinis had no idea.
Rashid is checking. Do you think it's off the pad? Do you think it's off the pad?
They're going to review it anyway. Afghanistan love they piss reviews against the wall like they've got a million of them, and they don't. But what was the previous game they played against? They couldn't. Was it Netherlands where they couldn't even review things in the 15th over that were clearly out?
That's going to be the case again here. I mean, Rashid did his best to stay calm, guys, stay calm, but in the end they didn't stay calm. Let's have a look.
Wow, it's just a gorgeous delivery. If it's feathered the bat,
I mean, it's a
and
there's nothing.
it is not feathered the bat. It's morally out.
It's definitely morally out. There's no doubt about that. God, it looks close.
The next ball's going to hit him plumb on the pad and he's going to give a nod out. And they're going to wonder again. They need Jonathan Trott to write down on a piece of paper about appropriate reviewing.
So as
decision.
Close to the edge of the bat as you can get, and as close.
Oh, actually, this one's interesting because it's hit the pad on the
okay,
back
now
pad.
this is interesting, and
So-
I reckon that's in line.
That might be interesting.
Yes.
I mean, it might still be turning away from the stumps. It's probably going to be umpire's call. They might keep their review.
So they'll definitely keep their review, because I reckon that's in line. Now, has more than half of the ball been in line? What did you get a feel of that, Leah?
Oh, this is looking really, really interesting, and it might well be umpire's call. Jonathan Trott looks like he's very surprised by the fact that this might actually be out.
Some umpire's call.
Oh.
Well, that was even more than morally out. That was out now, really.
It was out.
Yeah.
And really, I don't know. Some umpires' calls which are clipping the very outside of leg stuff. You think, well, that one, he should have given it, really, shouldn't he? I mean, he wasn't going to miss.
Well, I wonder if he actually realised they hit the back pad because it did slide directly into the keeper's gloves.
Adrian Holster.
Anyway, Stoinis sort of half gets a life.
This is
I better put this in the highlights.
That was a very eventful dot.
Yeah.
He's tried to reverse sweep at Stoinis. This is going to be out. It is out because he's been hit on the pad, missed it completely. It was a terrible shot, a terrible choice of shot. He's going to Maxwell to have a chat to us whether he should revert.
Of course he's going to review.
Why
not?
Yeah, well, it's
gets down, but it looked very out.
It's a waste of time.
Tempted a reverse sweep.
If he gets away with this is worse than that March 6th.
Whatever the level beyond morality is of morally out, this is the arch morally out.
This was absolutely plumb. Rashid Khan didn't sell a appeal, but he was pretty. It was the appeal that says, "I know this one's out." And Stoinis, well, what was he thinking?
He's just done it. He's just done it. And there's always possibility of the tiniest inside edge, or just missing or something. But my God, he did him.
It's just a top spinner, and he's tried to reverse sweep it. Oh, maybe it's outside the stump. Maybe
it could be outside the line. It could be.
Well, I think
it's probably.
I think at most it's umpires call outside the line, and at most smashing into middle stump. He's been giving him. They've already scored 6 off this over. They've been giving them singles pretty easily. Why would you go for a reverse sweep against such a crafty bowler who bowls balls that you're not picking? By the way, we know he's not picking them. It was just a bizarre shot from Stoinis, and he got exactly what he deserved.
Yeah, I think that his mind got befuddled there.
That's what Rashid can do to you, I guess.
Yeah.
We're still waiting around for ball tracker to sort itself out. It's well under the bat, unless it hits the glove. Nope.
As far as we can tell, no, that's not going to be the issue. Looks from here, is it going to keep? Where does it actually hit now? I reckon.
I think it's umpire's call.
I tip it'll be on. Yes, I agree with you. And I think it'll be about a third of it will be in line, in which case he will be out because he was given on the field, and it's zeroing in on the stumps. All but Could it be too high? Is there a possibility?
No, he's fairway down the pitch, obviously,
Yeah,
but
we'll be okay on that.
he's crouching down as well.
Always prepared to be surprised with these reviews. Let's have a look. Could be too high, maybe. I don't know. Impact is absolutely in line.
Smashing middle
Evidently
stump.
not too high. Couldn't be more out if it tried.
Well, 5 for 87.
Well, I didn't get long on that, did we? Bloody hell.
I bet.
Fred's there. I'm not supposed to be here. Adjit's supposed to be there. He'll come back, but Hendo's in. And I'll see you later.
Cheers, Bet.
Cool, Fred.
Somebody shouting at me from a distance. I will just do everything by myself. As it parks his ample backside into the producer's chair.
It's actually quite a small backside, actually. The rest of me is quite big. My backside's quite small. Should you wish to investigate, I hope you don't.
Yeah, we're going to have a debutant take the new ball in his first T20 international.
Fred, you're very quiet. Can you do anything to make yourself louder?
That's by public demand.
Yeah, that's better. Put your mic a bit nearer your mouth.
Hello. Are you going to play a jingle for Turner, or should we just?
I'll play a jingle for Turner. Why not? Absolutely. He's new. He deserves one.
If the pitch was as much of a Turner as he wouldn't be playing today.
I like Perko singing.
You do like it?
Does anyone like it?
I like it.
Anyway, Turner is going to be bowling to Evan Lewis, who will jingle up after this ball. His first ball is going to be a wide down the leg side. So an awful career from Josh Turner in T20 internationals.
Yeah, totally.
Frankly, he's hopeless and he needs to go.
Totally dreadful and inexcusable. Looks like his hair's grown since I last saw it.
Good ball to a right-hander, but unfortunately he was bowling to a left-hander.
Yes, I'll jingle up.
There's a bit of pace about him.
Oh, there is. I've been quite impressed.
Fair enough. Good evening all. This is Ajit.
How's Ajit? Hello there.
Hello,
Hi.
Ajit. Welcome as Turner to try and bowl the first ball again, and this might be a wide down the offside.
No.
Is it?
No,
He's got away with it. It did start a little bit wide and move wider.
it moved, didn't it? It really did.
Yeah.
We didn't see any movement from the West Indies bowlers with the new ball
No.
in the first innings.
It's very
This
true.
is my first viewing of Mr. Turner.
Oh,
Very
okay.
classic name, John Turner, if any.
You're very
Yeah, has there been anyone called John Turner in the international cricket? I can't think.
You're letting your microphone fall away again, Fred.
Hewitt Turner, Glenn Turner, but not a John, as his next ball is worked into the offside. He can't beat the ring in the covers, so it's a dot ball. So wide dot at the start of Mr. Turner's career.
They'll probably see a couple of overs, but then you'll see them start to hit. I fully expect that they'll need a blitz of a start. Yeah.
Not sure you've got the time to have a look at a couple of overs when you're chasing over 11 runs and over, as Turner is in again, and this is turned off the hit into the leg side. I think the single, there is not one there. There's a shy at the stumps, and unlike West Indies earlier, there is somebody backing up. So another dot ball.
Yeah, I mean, from England's perspective, Lewis has been very much hurried up by Archer in this series. I mean, he has hit him for the odd six when he's picked him up, but his extra bit of pace and his extra bounce has troubled him. Hasn't got that, but Turner is bowling. I mean, he's bowled well so far with these four balls, apart from the wider, I suppose.
This next one is short ball onto the back foot goes Lewis. Again, can't time the ball at all. Just drops into the offside. Another dot.
He's bowling those slightly back of length, what is called as a hard length. The Josh is a good length, I think. Tall bloke. I think he's started very well here. That length will be tough to, get under and just get it away.
He's quite baby-faced, isn't he?
Haven't seen a speed gun.
He bowls around 138, 140, 136. A couple of balls I saw.
Let's see what he does with this one.
Ooh.
It's a little bit of movement. It started on leg stump, may have just angled slightly towards the off, but Lewis does nothing other than defend it. So, as we were saying earlier, he's looked absolutely made for international cricket.
That last ball was 139.3 kph.
That's pretty decent, isn't it? That's pretty decent.
That's pretty good. I mean, I think these days if you're taking a new ball for an England or one of these teams, I think they look at minimum 135, 140.
And if you can get a bit of movement as well at that pace.
Of course.
Whitney over. This is a
Oh,
big
dear.
edge, and that went well. It's gone over the Overton at slip with a genuine outside edge, and it sailed away to the third man boundary for one of these.
Yeah, unlucky that he didn't,
Absolutely.
to lose that. I mean, even with Overton at slip, who's an enormous slab of a human being, he couldn't reach that. Let me do some tweets or YouTube. West Indies will win, says Steve Rousseau. Mark Arnold says, which Windies batsman do you nominate to get the runs? Steve Rousseau says, not predictable. The captain has done well in the hard hitting batsmen have failed. Yeah, Rodman Powell's done pretty well. Don't waste money on a weave. Get a mullet wig from Temu, says Lockie 6. Muttley says, if I upload a pic of me wearing a mullet wig, I will do. Rutherford, says Steve Rousseau, when pushed. Ronnie Biswas says 0 to 6 overs. How much will run target? Well, I guess you're talking about the power play. Well, they'll want 50 or so in the power play, won't they? I would think.
Absolutely.
From the other end, it's going to be Saqib Mahmood. We'll jiggle him up after his first delivery. He's right arm over the wicket. This moves away slightly from Hope. It started a little bit wide. He misses the ball. It's through. Is that Butler keeping?
I'll jingle him.
Yes. Oh no.
Overton is a weird one. They seem to be playing him as a specialist batsman.
No, he bowled pretty well.
Playing as a specialist batsman at number 8 who bowls the odd over and is a slip fielder.
Well, no, to be fair, he bowled very well on whatever day it was, Thursday.
I think he took a couple of important wickets at the end.
He did, and he was bowling very good, slower off-cutters. It really was a sort of masterpiece, really, in that respect.
Though they may not work as well on this pitch. For me, this is the real revelation. He's owned this tour, this man, Saqib Mahmood.
Saqib in again, and this is another ball outside the off stump. An attempted cut by Hope, again misses the ball. That may have been a little slower than he expected. He got through the shot a little bit early. So there's been a lot of dot balls at the start of this West Indies innings.
Yeah.
This pitch has a good, let's say, a predictable bounce. So that means, batsmen can actually look to hit on the up. Looks like Shai Hope is a little tentative and he's looking to lay bat on ball, play that one convincing air quotes shot, right?
Yeah, he's not moving his feet at all, is he? He's just wafting at it, really.
Not yet, no.
Mahmood in again. And this is a shorter ball, angled down, tried to get it down towards third man, gets it too square, fielded by Point, no run. 3 dots in a row. And that begins to the pressure on the batsman almost immediately because
absolutely
the run rate over 11 and a half now.
I think Butler is in gully or Point or somewhere there.
They keep showing him. It's
and I like the lens.
The most photogenic.
I think so, but he has a bit of a hard iron stare on him. He doesn't have that grin, that cheeky grin we know.
No, he's lost it, and I think I know why. I'm going to tell you after this ball. As this is full on off stump, and again, all Hope can do is defend it to Point. If you only play T20s, which is pretty much all Butler does, it's not. How shall I put it? It's not a great intellectual challenge, is it?
Well,
it's a very, very limited game compared to, red ball cricket, and it must be hard to keep motivating yourself to just play the same game again and again and again and again.
To be fair, Fred, when he's fit, he'll play one-day cricket as well. He'll play
I guess, yeah.
ODI.
That's what I was going to add.
Saqib bowls down the wicket comes
dear.
Hope. He has a big swap at this and misses the ball. Again, slight bit of movement from Mahmood, but I think the pressure's getting to the Windies batters already.
It does appear to be. It's really up to England to just keep.
No wicket.
Yeah, it's up to England to just keep their discipline, and they might pick up an early wicket here.
He's doing well, really. Bowling around 135, he looks a bit faster, and just getting the ball to shape away. And we don't see any real technique back and across whatsoever from Hope.
Nope.
And this one, he had a run at it. 5 dots is not the result.
to complete the over. This is fuller. It's actually a half volley on off stump, and such as how he got into the minds of the batsman that all he could do was quick this to mid off for a maiden. You don't see many maidens in international T20 cricket. You don't even see them in many England Test matches nowadays.
Very true.
After 2 overs, West Indies are 5 for no wicket, chasing 219.
Okay, David Durrell, otherwise known as Woi Pom, says, so Hendo's appealing for money for the Bears syrup. Absolutely. The Bear is in desperate need of a hair weave to cover his bald patch. If you would like to contribute to the fund, send us a super chat. And we will get him up to Harley Street as soon as we can. I love Saqib, he's so fun, says Will Reynolds. Why fun? Mint bowler, but fun? Why? Oh, hello.
Turner's first ball of Turner's new over is full on leg stump, and it is picked up weakly, the first time ball of the innings by Lewis. An over deep backward square leg for one of these.
Yeah, very good shot. To be fair, it's there, and it's in the slot, really, isn't it?
It looked like a no-look pull, no-look flick.
Yeah,
almost.
I mean, I think batsmen love it there, don't they?
Yeah.
Because it's almost a free hit if you hit it well. Yes. And there is a man at long leg, and it went sailing over him. But I go on.
He needs to find the line to the left-hander, and that's not it. If he'd have missed it, it would have been a wide. So,
well, he hasn't
not a high percentage delivery, is it?
Hasn't had a chance to bowl at the right-hander yet, has he?
No, and that was a good ball for a right-hander, unfortunately.
But again, this is on leg stump. It's turned on the ground past the square leg umpire, and mid-wicket drops back to field. 1 run.
He will get an opportunity now. Saqib is fun in a way. I mean, what I like about Saqib is that he's got a lovely fluent action.
Absolutely.
You know, the aesthetics of his action are just beautiful, and you can't necessarily say that about someone like Jamie Overton.
No.
How old is he? How old is Saqib?
No.
Oh, he must be about 28 now, mustn't he?
Yeah.
27, 28?
I can check that.
40, 45, perhaps?
We have a change in the field to the right hand.
27 going on 28, yeah.
Right, as the first ball from Turner to the right-handed Hope is short and cut and beaten.
Wow.
The offside ring, he actually timed that sweetly and out to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, poor ball.
And if you kids can't listen, then you bound to see the way you get shot for crossing a boundary.
As we've said all along, Turner's just not cut out for international.
I wonder why he is invoking such
fickle,
animosity.
Nothing if not fickle.
I mean, that was a good shot. There was a short ball outside the off stump. He gave him a bit of whip, but he did have to dispatch it, and he hit it.
How do I address you? Not or Fred?
Just your Majesty.
I'm teasing. Yes.
Hope. That was his first runs in his 7th delivery.
Ooh. Oh dear.
I thought he was castled. He got an inside edge. It must have been very close to off stump, and it's gone down very fine. The fine leg fielder is up in the ring, and Hope picks up after a very good 4. He's got a very lucky 4.
I mean,
for such a classy batter, his foot is not coming all the way across because he wants to give himself the room to swing.
Also, I think
that's his detriment.
I think he's trying to hit too hard, and his head is going in the air a little bit.
Good catch that. But I mean, he should just go back on his own tried and tested approach, which is he's a classy batsman.
He is, but I mean, it is difficult. You know, when you know a team's got 218 and you know you've got to go at 11 and over from the start.
This is picked up over mid-wicket. Has it gone all the way? I think it has. That was a good shot. It was in the slot. He went through with it with the arms, and he's hit it for 6.
Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6.
Yeah, and you kind of wonder, don't you? Because it's not been that bad an over. There was, I don't really say there's been one bad ball, but he's gone for.
There was 2 bad balls. There was the short and wide one to Hope, and there was the flick off the.
Oh, true.
And there was the full ball on leg stump.
But what's he got for 7, 11, 15, 21? He's gone for from those 5 balls. Yeah.
Let's see what he can come back with to complete the over. And this is hit high over extra cover. There is nobody out because you're limited to 2 fielders outside the ring. That's going to finish the over with another 4.
And if you kids can't listen, then you bound to see the way you get shot for crossing a boundary, crossing a boundary.
Yeah, a little bit.
Big over the West Indies needed, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, but a little unfortunate for Turner, that last one. I don't think he really hit that very well. But as you say, with only two people up inside the circle, there's no one out at deep extra. He got it up and over. Isn't the speed of choice serious point in short form cricket? Make a challenge for a captain, like speed chess. I don't know what that means, Jay. I wonder whether your predictive text has gone a bit funny there. Will Reynolds, on the subject of Saqib, says, he's fun to watch. He's a nice bloke. The few times I've met him, I've never met him. He bowls really interesting plans too. He's the kind of bowler I completely understand and adore. Hi, says Craig Jacobs. I donated $100. Did you really? $100 earlier. Please use $20 for the wig. Thanks. So that's so we've already got $20 for the wig.
I'd like to make a caveat that we do not guarantee to spend the money on the bear's head for that.
Well, you say that, but you know, I've sat next to him, and I think.
Is that what you want all the donated money to go to?
Well, look, I'm quite happy to lie. You know, I don't think we should give it away. Yeah. You know,
socialist. Anyway, 30 overs, 30 runs off 3 overs, and Saqib to start his second over. He bowls one which comes back
way
to
too high.
WW. That must have been too high. He's absolutely determined, but I don't think there's any way that could have been given out or overturned on appeal.
I mean,
the camera focuses on Butler.
Butler is finally having a smile, right?
And they're
he's pointing at his midriff and saying that's how it got, did it?
I mean,
too high.
The thing in this form of the game is that you have, basically you have the bowler and the wicket-keeper to really give you any guidance on this, don't you? Because everyone else,
no one else is the only one in line.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have enough slips. I mean, Butler's out there at backward point. I mean, he might be able to tell on the height.
Well, I mean, the advantage of putting in a really big appeal is if you can get the umpire to give a decision that he wouldn't do, even though it could be appealed at a later point. The fact that umpire's call matters. That it's actually putting pressure on umpires is actually still worthwhile, even in the era of DRS.
Well, that's the thing. That's why there's a lot of debate going on the umpire's call and how much it should be. The ball is
the Hawkeye shows that this would have been going over the top as we all thought, but there is a delay in play.
Yeah,
why?
I think Lewis took it took the inside of the thigh. Yeah, somewhat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's say the inside of the thigh, but absolutely could have been worse than that. Actually,
just doing 12-man duties, which is
having a conflab, right? He's telling Saqib something about his field placements around the offside.
He is. I mean, they're very different sorts of bowlers, aren't they? I'm not sure a Jordan Archer field would work.
He's bowled 7 balls and has not conceded a run yet. So,
this is true, but now Hope has kind of found his range a little bit, hasn't he, with those 2 or 3 really good shots in the last over, having got his timing.
I don't think Turner's going to, unless a wicket falls, I don't think Turner's going to bowl a 3rd over.
I don't think he is for now. Absolutely, no.
Well, he might come back for a consolatory over if the game is beyond doubt. As
I think he might bowl again, but I mean, when the batsman's seeing you as well as he does, you there's no time for giving him another over, see how it goes in T20 cricket.
Yeah, I think he'll bring Jamie Overton on probably, won't he? I would think.
It swung the other way, the momentum already into West Indian hands. You don't want to give that more wind.
Lewis has got his composure again, and Saqib bowls to him, and this is again taken on the pad, just dribbles out on the leg side. The bowler himself feels. I think it was probably a leg bye. I think it is going to be a leg bye. So he still hasn't conceded a run off the bat, Saqib.
Why did it take the umpire so long to signal that?
Maybe, I don't know, DRS. He was waiting to see if they appealed, because
you don't want to give it away, right?
Thought it's only hit the pad.
Yeah.
You have to wait for 10 seconds or something ridiculous like that.
Also, maybe the camera comes around. The camera has to come around. They give the time to the fielding team.
The more chat going on. I mean, we have now got a right-handed batsman on strike, though something different for Mahmood to consider. The deep point is going out, or the deep backward point. The 3rd man is up in the ring, or it's sort of deep wideish slip on the edge of the circle. Mahmood bowls again on
Oh,
the
wow.
leg stump, and it's got very fine tickle, possibly off the pad.
Yep.
And not a good
Again.
ball. It's gone down to the boundary for 4 leg byes, but that wasn't a good ball.
There's not one more for me, I must have 2 or 3, I need 4.
It's annoying for England at that, really.
Yes.
3 runs, isn't it?
It does tell you the difficulty of bowling to left-handers and right-handers, even for experienced bowlers.
Yeah. Do you ever had any trouble with that, Fred?
They sort of tended to treat me both the same.
I imagine they would.
Left-handers and right-handers. It still hasn't technically gone for a run,
Ooh.
but this
Oh,
one
wow.
is chipped up in the air and it's going to be out
Oh.
to the deep third. Oh, and a sprawling attempt at the shot by, is that Bethel?
Yeah.
Out
Yes.
out at deep point, doesn't manage to haul the ball back in. It's going to be 4 runs to hope.
Finally, some runs off the bat. Off
Finally.
Saheed.
Outside the off stump. It wasn't in totally control of it. It didn't
No,
bounce
no.
up far short of the fielder, which is why I thought it might be carrying in the air to him, but he got caught in 2 minds. He sort of came in to try and, well, no, he was going across it. It was well wide of him, not really any
No,
possibility.
he made it
of
look, it was closer actually, it was far away. That was good work from him in the deep, but I mean, it was almost a Hail Mary of a shot, it would have gone anywhere. It just flew wide of point there from Hope. I don't like this, what I'm seeing.
And this next ball is chipped up in the air and over the square leg fielder. And that was a ball on leg stump, better timed. It's going to be another boundary, and West Indies are ripping their way to victory.
There's not one more for
victory.
me, I must have 2 or 3, I need 4.
Oh, it's extraordinary. I mean, I'd like to see what Hope has done in his last 5 or 6 balls. He just seems to have hit everything for 4 or 6. Not
What they say
always.
about
call.
They
is a
say
good
about
call.
football strikers, you just need one to go in off the backside, and
Yes.
then all of a sudden you're back in form. And I hope that's got one off the edge, and all of a sudden he's timing them.
I mean, you'd expect Lewis.
6 off 13.
You'd expect
Yeah.
Lewis to be the more sort of fiery and explosive of the batsmen of this pair, but
You
it's
don't
Hope.
have time to hang around, really.
No. Well,
He's
he's
hit
chancing his arm, isn't he?
Let's see what Mahmood can do to finish the over. It's a ball on leg thump and it's just tucked into the leg side. They've taken 1. That's all they're going to get. That's the end of the 4th over. The score is 44 for no wicket. Hendo, are there any messages on social?
1 or 2. 11 and over. They're right up with the pace at the moment. Evening Gorilla, says Matthew Cullen. I missed the first innings, so Bethel must have been brilliant to watch. He was very good to watch, I have to say. Otherwise, there's nothing very much, but we will keep putting out the plea for super chats. Whether you want to contribute to the Bear Weave Fund or not, you can still super chat us.
Is
Send
that
us
what
money.
we call it? The Bear Weave Fund?
That's what
project.
That's it's one of those sort of reality programs where it's just a camera.
Oh dear. I wonder what the protagonist has to say about all this.
The Bear Weave
Well,
project.
we were right to say that Turner was not going to have another over, but is this the man you want on power play? I'm not convinced.
No, me neither. I would have gone for Overton, to be honest, but unfortunately, it's this man. He's not really had a great time with the ball.
Some chorus. What's his distinguishing feature? Some chorus. His notes from Zimbabwe. Some chorus. And his beloved eyelids, yes. Some chorus.
Angriest face in cricket comes up and bowls.
Yes.
And this is slap on the ground out the deep point for a single. Oh, they're coming back for 2 and they make it. That's a good bit of running, actually. I didn't think there was 2 there, but Mousley was on his heels somewhat from deep point and well spotted by Hope. And they came back for 2 good runs.
Yeah.
That was a hard throw as well backed up, I must say. That could have gone for more.
Well, we saw it in the very first over of the England innings, didn't we? A terrible 4 overthrows.
It was a return to the keeper, which sailed over his head and went down to the boundary.
Yeah.
Let's see what Curran can come up with now. Left arm over, and this
Wow.
is halved away again out to deep point. It's hit very hard. The fielder can't come around to cut it off. It's going to be 4 more.
It is indeed.
Giuliani had his reasons for selecting his landscape
8 seasons. There were 4.
That's the West Indian 50, by the way. But also, I mean, the way his hands came through the ball there, he might have as well been playing with a spade. It's very unlike to see Shai Hope play like this. He's so correct technically.
It's a spade with a good middle.
Yes, that too.
Curran bowls again, and this is again pushed through the offside, but much squarer. So deep point. It goes pretty much straight to him, just a single. We're going to have a change after this over.
We are indeed. You're going to summarise. Nick is coming in to do ball by ball, and the bear is going to socialise and talk about his weave.
Oh yeah,
socialise with the bear. Yeah, if you give us some money, you too can socialise with the bear. It involves a lot of drinking and well.
Oh yeah, we were going to sell dinner with a gorilla, weren't we? As an away.
That's a good idea.
Raise funds,
especially if it's Annie or somebody.
Oh, I see. Oh, especially if it's Annie. I mean, you're so transparent, you people. What's wrong with the rest of us? What's wrong with the rest of us?
Well,
dinner with Gary, you'd pay good money for that.
All right.
Yeah, you'd get good value with Gary, wouldn't you? I mean, you get more words to the minute per course.
Rather than
well, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Sam Curran, left arm over. This is well down the leg side.
Oh, gee.
And it's going to be the arm spread wide from the umpire.
It is indeed.
Wide.
9 out of 10 jingles played by Hendo are introduced by the word "it is indeed" as he tries to find the jingle.
It is. It's a good ploy, isn't it? It's a good ploy rather than going.
You have been rumbled.
Well, I've been rumbled by you, but I'm. You know, you are sort of highly intelligent, whereas rest of our listeners are.
Blimey, can we clip that?
Oh dear.
Curran is full and straight.
How do you describe that shot?
Inside edge, he dragged it past the short fine leg fielder. Has he managed to pull that back? I think he probably has. The deep square, and they're probably going to take how many? Two.
I mean,
have a look.
Mostly
whether
it
it
looks
was
like
saved by Mousley.
Wonderful work at the deep.
He was almost at full stretch, and yeah, that's clean. That's clean. He's done a good bit of work there. Saved a couple of runs.
Yeah, Mousley might not be a bad call on this wicket. He only bowled one over in the last game, and it was the 20th over.
Well, as we were saying the other day, the trouble is that when you've got so many bowlers, you just want to tend to use them all. You say, well, let's try this one, and let's try this one, and let's try this one. There's a lot for the captain to think about. This next ball is possibly a slower one, or maybe I was just buffering. And it's dragged out to deep mid wicket again. A fielder comes round. I think this time it's Overton who's been removed from the slip cordons. Two more.
Well,
so what have we had this over? We've had 2, 4,
12.
1 wide, 2, 2.
12 runs from the over, and they only need 11. So the run rate has already come down to 10.7. I mean, of course, it's a power play. You know, when you can put more players out, you've got a chance of restricting some of these shots to a single.
You'll have to bowl to one side of the wicket for that. You can't bowl on both sides.
What is
the captain to do?
Curran to completely over, shorter ball, and he ducked underneath this one.
Good planning that.
He's looking for the umpire as if to say, surely that was a wide.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the over and the end of my ball by ball score.
Okay,
see you later.
See you guys. Matthew Collins says, Bear Weave Project. Are we getting the bear a wig? About time. Is the Bear Weave Project performance art at this point? Says Will Reynolds. Bear in a hair hat sounds like a West End musical, says David Durrell. Dara Azizi. Azizi, sorry. I'd bring on Darren Stevens now. Your prisoness seems to have not got me banned from Super Chat, Hendo's comment I just sent. Don't know what that was. Not Fred is certainly highly intelligent. That's why he's joining me on Elon Musk's in Elon Musk's cabinet of genius. Ball by ball will be taken up now by Nick.
Well, we've been calling for a game all series, and I think we might have one. What do you say, Fred?
I don't know. I think I would make England still slight favourites even after this start.
Well, I've been backing the unders and they haven't been coming in, so I've switched camps and put a couple of quid on the West Indies. And as Hendo called, we're going to have Dan Mosley into the attack. I think it's a decent move on this wicket.
Oh, it could be. He doesn't have much of a run-up and he just throws it from the shoulder.
Just fast starts, and he shouldn't be too troubled by the dew.
loves the T20. TANIELMOUSE.
I think you just play him as a medium-pace bowler, rather than thinking he's an off-spinner who darts it in.
Yeah, I agree, Fred. And here he comes for his first ball. It's full and it's straight, and Hope gets a hold of it, and that's gone beyond the fence for 6 into the stands.
Well, first ball didn't work.
No, he was just a little bit short of that Yorker length, wasn't he? And Shy Hope's found some timing, and he's got a decent start. And with that power that West Indies have got in their middle order, they've got a really nice platform to build from.
Well, yeah, England have to get wickets, but they've got to carry on going at this rate, haven't they? I mean, this is it. They've got to carry on at 10 and over.
That's the thing.
You can often see sides go for 10, 11 overs keeping up with it, and then a couple of wickets go, and it gets a little bit behind, and then it all gets a bit scratchy.
Yeah, a couple of bad overs can change the complexion of a chase like this when you've got big runs to get. But I do think England's slightly missing Archer.
Yeah, big time.
England are not averse to getting ahead in series and then getting pulled back.
As Hope just ticks that one to long on for a single.
Can you not turn your sound up at your end at all?
I don't know how to turn the microphone.
Well, maybe you should, read some instructions and find out, because you're actually really
There is no microphone.
Well, in Zoom there's a volume thing in the settings, obviously.
Mosley's looking stern as he adjusts his field. Bowls to the big left-hander Evan Lewis, who tries a sweep, and it's ugly, and he's almost stumped there. Phil Salt looks like he thinks he's got him.
I'm not sure he did.
No, I didn't think he did either.
Depends. If he took the bails off, but his feet were in the air because he hopped, then he would be out.
Well, we're going to have a look.
Extraordinary way of getting out. You get 20 to 1 for stumping.
Lewis doesn't look too concerned.
Well, we had decision pending. I thought we were going to get a replay.
As did I, there, but we're being just held on tenterhooks for a little bit.
Okay, so we got a little bit of a war going on here for some reason on.
Use your Prime Super Chat.
No,
he's just got his foot back down, but it was close.
It was. Why? I don't understand why they haven't got Zing Bales in the West.
I would like Zing Bales. It makes it a bit easier to see, doesn't it?
Certainly does. I don't think the bail comes off until that frame, and
then the foot's down.
I think the foot's down. Yeah.
But it was a sharp bit of work from not the fastest man behind the stumps.
Yeah. But I think it's definitely his foot.
I didn't see the start of this. Did he? He didn't take it in front of the stumps, did he?
He might have done.
He might have done, but does it? I think it changes because it's
no ball.
That would be a
no ball.
Doesn't it change if it's come off the pad or the bat?
Yeah, if it has come off the pad, then he can take it anyway.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, I looked that up on the laws. Lockie sent us $1 on the super chat, and Jay Grover says, "We starting this, Lockie," and gives us £2.
You've missed at the Bear. We were talking about the Bear Weave project.
Yeah,
which is the campaign for your hair.
Well, I've been thinking about this. I think I'll get a Iron Maiden wig, two-tone,
mullet,
white, mullet, something like that. Lockie's come back, $5. Bear is in stage 1 denial. It's a total, it's a total ball patch, baldy. Yeah, all right, Lockie.
Well, they're having a long look at this, aren't they?
I don't know why. His foot's down for me there. You can see that the pressure on the toe just turns the toe, which means the boot is on the ground. So, and the bail isn't off the fucking.
Oh well, there we go. We got there in the end. Not out is the decision. It took us about 4 hours.
Obvious from about the first look, really, wasn't it? I mean, you get a sense of these things.
As Mousley comes into Lewis again, it's short and it's slap, but it doesn't look to be timed, but it's got enough on it. It's cleared the ropes by a good distance, and that's 6 from Evan Lewis.
Well, they're certainly getting there at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, and he's taken a little bit longer to get going than Shio, but he's joined the party now. That was a really just clumped away, wasn't it? Muscle beyond the boundary.
Yeah. Well, they're big lads, this West Indian team. They've certainly got a lot of muscle.
And they do like to deal in sixes. We haven't seen much of it through the first 3.
No,
but
true.
And so Mousley's gone for 13 off 4. The brave call doesn't look to be paying dividends, but I don't think there are too many bowlers putting their hand up at the moment.
No, as Hendo said, it is Oh, he's gone for it. Get fuck off, Salty.
Well, it's a bit of shite from Mosley, isn't it? Halfway down the track and very wide, but he's got away with it. It's a dot ball.
Yeah, it was short, wide, into the pitch.
That England keeper of the 90s who was incredibly annoying. Was it Nixon? Paul Nixon?
Yes.
Who was extremely annoying. Everything was a catch, everything was a stumping. He always wanted to be the centre of attention. It's not a good look.
No, Phil Salt's got a bit of that about him, doesn't he? That's full from Mosley. A little bit slower, but Lewis clumps it straight to mid-off in the ring, so it'll be a dot to close out the over. 13 from it. West Indies are 69 after the power play.
Oh, it's me. We've got nothing else. Bring it, says Lockie. I don't know what's going on. And that's it. Oh no, Jay's back. I did not get the Bear Weave project reference until Titmouse said it. Aha. Yeah. Apparently I need a wig.
It would be scary, the Bear Weave project. The Bear Weave project. Found footage of the back of the bear's head.
Well, 41 of 19 for Hope. Wow. Lewis 21 of 17. Still needed.
Yeah, still 150 off 84, so there's a lot of runs to be had.
Yeah,
but
there's a lot of runs they got. This is it. You got to keep going. Wickets can chip away. And England have got to believe in that.
And this should be interesting. Here he comes with the dew. Young Ray and Ahmed into the attack.
There's a jingle that goes like this.
And the first is short. Hope just rocks back, pushes it into the leg side. They're going to look for two, but I don't think it's there. It's just a single.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be easy to grip for spinners, it has to be said. It does look pretty dewy.
Wet, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And that was fairly fast from Rayan and into the track. I wonder if that's the sort of ploy he's going to go for.
Yeah, and haven't got out the power play without losing a wicket for the first time in a series. They've lost at least 3 in the power play in the first 3 games. 70 for none.
Yeah, it's a great start, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Poran, Powell, Hetmeyer and Rutherford, there's pure power to come. So it's going to be interesting through these last 14, whatever happens. And there's Rayan, it's a googly, and it ends up wide, and Lewis clubs it out to deep backward point for an easy single.
And I'm still in my LBW shout.
Yeah, when are we going to see a wicket, Bear? We're used to them falling in bundles in the power play. And
yeah.
Been plain sailing for the West Indies so far, as Ahmed's in again to bowl. That's gone straight on and it's gone up in the air. It's got enough on it. Didn't look out the middle of the bat, but it's gone into the stands.
Well, Greg Chappell will be chuntering away wherever he is.
And Shireup's raced to 48 off 21. He's seen as the sort of glue that holds the bashers together in this lineup.
Yeah.
But he's gone after it tonight from the start, and he's looked really good.
Yeah, he has. They're going to do this in about 15 overs at this rate.
That's a leg break. It sits up a bit, and he slaps it out to long on. Jamie Overton fields, and it's a single.
He'd be the next man I'd have on.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen him already.
Well, I don't think they want him out of the power play, don't they? I think they want him sort of 8 to sort of 14, 15.
Yeah.
Doing what we were talking about off air.
Cross seamers into the pitch.
Cross seamer Liam Plunkett roll
into the pitch. A few slower balls. That's another googly from Ahmed. Lewis strikes it firmly in front of point for a 1 out to Jacob Bethel. So we've got, 10 off the first 5. 1 ball to come in Ahmed's first.
Yeah, well, he's gone for 10. He's not doing too bad compared to everyone else.
And that's short, it's filth, and it's slapped by Shy Hope into the gap before that's raced away to the boundary. It's a great shot. And it takes Hope past 50.
You know you lift me with your 50.
That's a pretty good going off 23 deliveries, isn't it?
It really is. 3 big ones and 7 fours. And the West Indies have just gone slightly ahead of the asking rate. I think England will be feeling like they need a wicket very soon.
They will. Yeah.
Haven't pull out of the dive there.
I think so.
I'm not sure he would have got to it, but he.
Well, I think that's why he did.
Yeah, it was struck very firmly, and that was the area that was sort of a sand pit on Thursday night, wasn't it? So we're going to have Livingston into the attack to replace Mousley.
Let's work the way through all the bowlers.
Well,
yeah,
exactly.
Still no Jamie Overton, but we're going to see a bit of Livy's all sorts.
I am Livingston, I play for the light.
And here he comes, starting with an off break to Evan Lewis. It doesn't spin, and it might have got a little bit of pad, but it beats everything else, and it's going to race away to the fine leg boundary for 4.
That's Jesus.
5 wides, I think.
5 wides, indeed. So not a great start from Livingston, not a great bit of keeping from Phil Salt, although he was unsighted by the batter, but he's about a yard away from the ball.
I think that actually hit the pad as well, didn't it?
I thought it got a bit of pad on the way through there, and Livy comes in again. That one is flighted and full, but Lewis can't get it away. It squirts out to deep mid-wicket. Oh, but they've got back for 2. It's a decent bit of running. I thought there was just 1 there.
Yeah, it's good running.
There, are you going to have a Livingston type weave? Is that the look you're looking for?
No.
Well, I think Livingston went to Turkey for his, didn't he? So we're going to have to raise a fair bit of money if you want one of those, Bear.
What about a Jofra? A Kirtley? A Kevin Peterson 2005?
Oh, please.
And here's Livy. Oh, it's flighted and full, and Lewis has got a hold of that one. It's absolutely hammered over long on for 6.
Well, I think your money on West Indies is...
it's looking good, isn't it, Bear?
It is looking good.
I got evens.
There might be a chance to actually put some money on England.
Yeah, well, I think West Indies will be big favourites now, and that was... He really got a hold of that one, Evan Lewis.
I can't see. It seems very hard to grit the ball.
Yeah, full swing of the bat, and it was high into the night sky, and it's clubbed off the pavilion.
Well, I think they're 3-1, so I'm going to put some money on it.
That's short from Livy, and it's just chipped over square leg. It's going to go to the fence again. That's 4 more.
For fuck's sake, that was a waste of money, eh? Well, you still need 9.5 and over, you know.
Yeah, it's never over, but Livingston's gone for 17 off his first 3 legitimate deliveries, so wherever Butler turns at the moment, there are runs.
Yeah, I'm good to Jamie Overton, I keep saying.
I agree, I would have had him straight after the power play ended.
Yeah.
Livingston's pulled out of that one just to keep Shy Hope honest at the non-striker's end. He thinks he's gaining a yard, although it doesn't make a difference at this stage because everything's going to the boundary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Full and flighted again. This time Lewis strikes it straight to Joss Butler at cover. So a rare dot ball. West Indies are 100. 100's been up off 7.3. It's 7.4
They're
now.
ahead of where we were as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And that's full and flighted again. Lewis picks it from well outside off stump. It gets a mile up in the sky and goes for 6.
That's gone an awful long way.
Yeah, we're seeing some huge 6s tonight.
2, 4.
He just helped it. That was enormous.
It really was. It was a full... Oh, he's gone for the leg break, and it was a full, clean swing of the bat. The ball was coming into him, and he said, thank you very much, and absolutely clobbered it.
It's out of the ground.
I think it has, yeah.
That's gone out of the ground. Between stands, I don't think it's gone over a stand.
No, just gone to the right of that big stand, and I think we're going to need a new ball.
How far did it go? Let's have a look on the... 105 metres, that's a biggie. Well, they're walking this at the moment. It has to be said, England were 87 for 1, and we thought they were doing all right. They are monstering it.
Yeah, and they've been saying they've been waiting for to chase all series, and they're really taking advantage of it, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's been...
Well, they have said it's so much easier to bat second than first, haven't they? When it's sort of daylight into night.
Yeah, and I thought England had slightly debunked that tonight with the way they batted in the first innings, but it looks like possibly not.
Well, then you have to back it up with your bowling, to be fair.
Yeah, and I do think that without Archer, they've just lacked a bit of cutting edge and a bit of control. That's going to be wide from Livingston. He's gone back to the off break, but it's miles wide of the batter.
Oh, yeah.
So He's struggling to get out of this over, isn't he?
He's gone for 20 so far.
24. And he's still got one ball to bowl. And he's in again. It's short and it's filth and it's clubbed. He hasn't got all of it, but he's got enough. It's going to be 6 again.
Fuck me. 30 off that over. Jesus Christ. England are getting freaking hammered.
Yeah, they're getting, well, smashed all over the park, aren't they? Jacob Bethel had a rather futile dive out there at Cow Corner. It was nowhere near time, nowhere near the middle of the bat. But looks like West Indies are running away with this, Fred.
He hit that one-handed. He took one hand off the bat. It wasn't a completely futile dive because I mean he wasn't that far away from it. I'm not sure he would have been able to catch it and stay on the boundary, but he may have been able to flip it back, which is something they're pretty good at nowadays. Yeah, that he didn't time that. He hit that one-handedly. It still went for 6. So let's put the shake the balls and come out with another bowler. It could be Overton, it could be Bethel, it could be anyone.
Well, it looks like he's going back to Lil Sammy Curran, so still no Jamie Overton in the attack. And the West Indies are now, I'm waiting for a score to come up.
They are 113.
113. So they're left needing, 106 off 72. As Curran bowls, it's wide, and Hope plays it into the offside for an easy single. So I mean, they need a wicket desperately, don't they?
They need
try and
2 or 3 really.
pull this back. Yeah, they need a bundle of them
to slow it down. They need a couple of overs where they get 2 or 3 wickets and go for
and
maybe
4 or 5 and
10.
just try and drag it back a little bit, but
put the pressure back on. And try and get both of them out as well. So there's 2 new batsmen.
Yeah, I agree. If you can get 2 new batters at the crease, you might just feel you've got a chance of slowing them down for 3 overs.
Yeah, there isn't, and they've still got to go some, right? Yeah, so.
Not a bowler that's beaten the bat.
Oh, for fuck's sake! They keep bowling in the wrong place, though, don't they?
Yeah, the bowling's shit. I think they're really struggling to grip the ball. And Evan Lewis and Shai Hope are taking full advantage. That was short and down leg side, and he's just smashed it away to the deep backward square fence.
Man on 45's up in the boundary, isn't he?
Yeah, and Lewis has 50 as well.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, Corona,
You're getting worked
it's all
tonight,
going
man.
off. It's all going off.
You know you lift me with your 50.
So he wasn't quite as fast as Shai Hope, but it's come at a decent lick, 51 off 26, as Curran's in for the 3rd ball of his 2nd over. It's short and on leg stump again, and it's smashed away. Oh, Jacob Bethel was running around. Was it Dan Mousley out there? But he hasn't made it, and it's 4 more.
Well, they're just not quite going to the fielders tonight, are they?
No, and it's clearly not easy out there for the bowlers, but England have been pretty piss poor, haven't they?
Yeah.
And you may forget that the first 2 overs went for about 5 runs.
Yeah, absolutely. They weren't fast out the blocks, the West Indies.
Like a train, no.
Yeah, the 3rd one went for about 30, though, didn't it?
Yeah, that was the turning point, wasn't it? That Turner over that disappeared.
Turner overdrive.
And wow, that's a lovely shot, and it's 6 again. It's gone flat and straight.
I'm bored of playing jingles.
Yeah, I mean, it's every ball at the moment, isn't it? Evan Lewis is really taking advantage of this little Sammy Curran over. He's had 14 off the last 3. Everything's...
The only bowler who hasn't turned to is bloody Jamie Overton.
Yeah,
I bet he comes on and takes a wicket with his first over.
I mean, that was in the slot, and he's just stepped away and swung through the line. It's a lovely stroke.
Their eyes in now, isn't it? And
yeah,
the bloodlust is up. They're hitting everything.
Yeah, it looks like batting's easy out there, and they're seeing it nicely. And I can't see the West Indies slipping up from here, to be honest.
No, I can't either. Although, someone on here reckons they will. Who was it? I saw it a minute ago. No, I can't find it now. Oh no, Dara Easy says the pressure is off. The Windies, but they will still lose. I don't think so, Dara. I think they're going to win. They certainly look like it.
Well, they're 128 for no wicket in the 9th over.
Yeah, and I mean, they're going to be left needing, 80 off the last 10? I think they'll walk that with 10 wickets in hand.
Yeah, they should do. Do they want to enter the GPL again today?
If England had Archer and Rashid to bowl 8 overs.
Yeah, it's a slightly different story, isn't it, Fred? I agree. But that's... Oh, he might have just got something there. No, it's cleared. Short third, and it's gone all the way for 6 off the outside edge.
Might have, but no. It's one of these instead. Oh, we did have some people, but if the West Indies win, everyone's out of GPL. The highest GPL was 407, which would be England to win by 20-ish runs.
Well, yeah, it's going to be a huge score tonight combined, isn't it, by the looks of things?
No, it'd be a 41 win, wouldn't it? It'd have to be about 180 that the West Indies got. 170 even, so I can't see that happening.
No, I think they're going to be well clear of that. They're 134 for none after 8.5, and Sammy Curran's last 4 have gone for 20, so nothing's going for England at the moment. That's short, and I think he's just about going to get away with that. No, the umpire said that's wide.
I don't think anyone's tried to slow a ball yet.
No.
Curran can only bowl slower balls.
Well, yeah, these haven't been fast, have they? They've been around about 120, which isn't too much quicker than Mosley's throwing them down.
Yes.
One of them was about 106, so there was one ball in the
So yeah, he has looked to go sort of slowing into the wicket, but it's just sat up and looked really easy to hit, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But when you're slow at the best of times.
Yeah, the slower ball's less effective if your stop ball's 75. And here he is with that angry run up. It's short and it's slapped, but I don't think he's got it. Oh, it's a fantastic effort. And they've almost saved the boundary. I'm not sure whether they've quite kept it in between long on and long off. It's Josh Butler who took a leaping dive down there and almost pulled off a blinder.
Yeah. And then I thought Livingston sort of stumbled into the rope, but we were looking from behind, but it looked like he probably got hold of it.
He might have just stayed in, but he was definitely looking a bit beer-legged, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He kind of lost his balance.
Oh, it's actually hit Butler sort of
in the Adams apple.
Yeah, right in the looked like a
Off
nasty one. He's overcooked the drive and it's gone right into the jugular.
Bloody yeah, good effort though.
Great
said. I mean,
effort.
Superman full-on dive. They're not even looking at whether he touched the.
Yeah, I
may
thought
not have a camera which has got a correct angle for that. It's a rather odd.
Could be contentious if England win by 2 runs or something.
Well, Sammy Curran probably felt he needed a bit of luck, and he's got some, because that might have been 4, but he's got out the over with a 1, so he's
still a lot.
Yeah, he's 35 from his 2 overs, so he's been expensive, as has everyone, to be honest. Ahmed went for 14 off his first. Livy went for 30 off 1. Turner's leaked 30 off 2. Sakib's been the only pressure builder, hasn't he? To 9 dots in his 2 overs and just 9 runs. But now the West Indies needing 83 off 66. It should be regulation from here, and that might just be a wicket.
Yes.
Dan Mousley's done really well coming in from the deep extra cover fence to cling on to that, and Evan Lewis has gone, so a little lifeline for England. The West Indies are now 136 for 1.
Well, we have to say goodbye.
The crowd says, the crowd says, the crowd says you're out.
And Lewis really tried to give that the kitchen sink and just didn't get a hold of it at all. And Dan Mousley's taken a pretty smart catch, running in, diving. Those aren't easy, especially under the lights. So Lewis departs for 68 off 31. It's a solid knock, which has put West Indies well in control.
Yeah, that's where England have got to try and squeeze.
Yeah, and we'll have early drinks as we did in the first innings as Nicky Pooran comes to the crease. Still no Craig Overton. It's Jamie Overton. Craig Overton, don't know where he is.
Is it time? Yeah, well, there is that. He could be injured. But then why have him in the side if he's injured?
Yeah, as a specialist number 8.
Yeah, fuck that. What, in a T20, that's even worse than having a specialist number 8 in an ODI. At least he might get a bat.
This slip fielder.
Well,
not much cause for specialist slip fielders in.
I think they're missing a trick with. Everyone thinks spin's the game, but trying to bowl spin with a wet, soft ball is not much fun. You're actually probably better off with pace, I'd say.
I agree, and I mean,
I can hear years of frustration in the bear.
Yeah, it's just really, it's just horrible. I mean, whenever it was wet, you know, we've got club crickets like you genuinely play when it's sort of mizzling and stuff. Trying to bowl with a ball like that, I mean, all you could do was really try and bowl darts, because if you try to put any flight on it, slip out your hand or you drag it down or something like that, it was horrible. So you ended up just bowling darts, but it becomes really predictable, funnily enough. and people just step away and try and cart you.
And it only takes one to slip out your hands for you
and
to be
then
put
it's a
off
full,
trying to.
Well, then it's exactly. Then it's a full toss and goes for 6 anyway. Especially at this level. So I'd be more tempted to try it with the pacers and see if you can just get bowled in the pitch and bowl cutters or something. But hey, what do I know?
Well, we haven't seen a ball sort of go past the outside edge. We haven't seen one swing. We haven't seen one particularly move.
No,
the first couple of overs. These balls don't last in terms of. You don't get much out of the ball if you're a bowler after the first really couple of overs.
No.
So they can't expect that to happen. I don't really see where wickets are coming from unless they've beaten somebody in the flight and the ball goes straight up in the air, which has happened a couple of times. But until that last delivery, nothing's gone to hand.
And it was nicely bowled from Ryan. I think it was the googly that foxed him. He was looking for the leg break and it just skewed off the outside of the bat.
Yeah, not a big turn of the ball, is he, Ryan?
No, but I think batters find it hard to pick that googly of his. And, well, he's learning, isn't he? He's not exactly on the money in the same way Rash is just yet.
No,
but he's getting plenty of exposure.
Well, he is.
As he comes in again with a smile on his face. It's another googly. Poran can't clear. Oh! Shy Hope has...
That's just what we were saying.
2 in 2. Shy Hope sold himself down the river there. He's come halfway down when there wasn't a run. I think he thought it was going to clear mid-on.
There probably was a run, I think. But it's Poran's cool. He's going to the danger end.
Yeah, and he's stayed rooted to the crease. So Shy Hope departs, shaking his head. Well, he might. Let's just have another look at that. It's gone pretty much to Liam Livingstone at mid-on, and I mean he's not even in the frame, so he's well short of his crease.
So
what was somebody saying about getting the 2 set batsmen out?
Yeah, well, exactly that's what I was just looking at Nick and saying, wow.
Yeah, so Shy Hope goes for
54
balls. Off 24, and it's a different game now with 2 new batters at the crease.
Indeed, wow. Good old Eric.
Love Eric. And I hate Man United,
Yeah.
but I can't help loving Eric.
No, you can't. The kung fu kick was genial, mate. It was absolutely genial.
Just round the corner from here.
Yeah.
It's legendary.
It was.
So 2 in 2 changed the equation of the game. The run rate is down. The required run rate's only at 7.78, but we got 2 batsmen on naught at the crease. It's 136 for 2.
Both pretty big hitters we got.
If we could keep the batsmen a your kind of thing, let me introduce Nicola.
And that,
no, is that?
Fuck me, it's a hat trick as Ryan's come in with another googly.
Oh
We weren't ready for it.
my God.
And
I thought that was
technically a hat trick, but 3 wickets and 3 balls. He didn't get credit for
He
the
didn't
run
get the
out.
middle one. So it's a team hat trick, not an Ahmed hat trick, but that is quite something. It's a really slow googly. It's turned just a bit, come off Poran's inside edge and clattered back onto off stump.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You couldn't make this shit up, could you?
You really couldn't.
He didn't even get through his jingle.
He's read it fine, hasn't he?
Well, he can't believe it.
So Poran's got to go in his 2-ball stay. He's caused 2 wickets. He's looking up to the heavens, thinking, what is this game? The West Indies all of a sudden are 3 down, 136 for 3, and we might just have a game back on.
Well, all of a sudden, some weird shit's happened, isn't it? So who's in now?
As the bear
Shimron.
said, it's the spinner in the wet who's done the damage.
Well, yeah.
Looks like Hetmeyer's coming in without a helmet.
And we also have yeah, he's got an awesome name, but his jingle's 32 seconds long.
And it's an...
What are they looking at?
I think they're looking at whether it bounced off Salt's glove onto the stump. I thought it was stump first and then into the gloves, but...
Well, he's already walked off the pitch, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think no, it's done. I think it's just a replay.
Oh, right,
Nothing more sinister than that. But I think there was...
No,
it's clattered into off stump.
Yeah.
It was an ugly shot, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, they're looking whether his... Oh, whether his pad did it. That could be a bit deceiving. from that angle. It looks like it might
Could have been
be.
LBW bowled and caught behind in the same,
Yeah.
same delivery.
Yeah, he's going for the full house pour on with a run out the ball before.
Well, they've obviously been looking at it for some reason, but he's already once you walk over the boundary, that's it. You can't come back anyway, can you?
Over the white line.
The white line.
White
That's
line
right.
fever. Well, it's been an eventful over.
Certainly has.
Yes, changed this game, hasn't it? And Hetmeyer now squares up for his first ball. It's another googly, and it's a very traditional looking forward defensive shot.
Yeah. It's like in baseball when two big batsmen have got it out off consecutive deliveries. You just don't want to do anything silly for the next one.
Yeah, as Ahmed bowls another googly, it's just tapped into the leg side for one. The bowler's going to field it himself, and I think they'd be wise here, these two, to just take a couple of overs. They're well ahead of the rate, and the last thing you want is to lose another wicket now, and it's full out free fall.
Yeah, it is.
But then again, you don't want to lose. You don't want to have 2 slow overs and then lose another wicket.
No, that's quite right, Fred. So,
Oh, we didn't. Well, I think Poran's a little bit to blame there, isn't he? Actually, I didn't see the run. I thought he'd said no straight away, but he did sort of stop, and then
really
go no.
give him a call.
Yeah, and
I'm not sure there was one there though, to be honest.
No, there might not well have been. There might not have been, but I think you've got to make that.
We're having a
decision
change after this next ball.
We are indeed. Who is it? It's me.
You're doing ball by ball.
You're staying there,
Nick,
Nick, and Ajit's coming back. Yeah,
Lovely stuff. Am I onto the socials? I think.
I think you're onto the socials. Yeah. Oh,
You've done everything today, Nick.
Yeah.
It's easy.
And there's Ahmed, a rare leg spinner. Rovman just sort of pokes at it out to deep point for a single. So that's the 10 overs up. West Indies are 138 for 3. They require 81 off 60.
And what a strange over that was. Ajit, come in, Ajit. If you're there, I'm sure he'll turn up in a second. Yeah, it's quite amazing, isn't it? 68-54, 0-1-1 so far on the scoreboard. I mean, these two can do it. Chase can hit a long ball. Have to get another 2 reasonably quickly and then think maybe you can throttle it a bit from there on in.
But it just shows you can never give up on this game, can you?
No, you can't. I mean, it's still quite a long way to go with 10 overs to go. I mean, what they got? Still got to get 80. Near enough 80, 79.
Yeah, and we've seen the way that they've had a habit all series long of losing wickets in bundles. So I think if you were Darren Sammy in the West Indies camp, you'd just be feeling a little bit nervous now.
Yeah. It does look hazy. It looks like there's a lot of moisture in the air, doesn't it?
And
well, Turner gets to come back.
So I don't think we're going to see Jamie Overton at all, Bear. It looks like he must be carrying another injury.
Another niggle.
A bit earlier than we had envisioned, when the game was sort of settled, is when I thought Turner might come back. You guys seem to have seen a very turbulent period for England.
Well, a very turbulent over. Yeah, full, driven.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Good timing. Well, no. Bad over, but it all starts up again. Rovman's at the crease. He had a good game the other day, and it's 4 more runs out through the covers. Oh.
I have 2 or 3, I need 4.
78 with about 7 wickets in hand is probably I would say a close to comfortable chase from here for West Indies.
It should be, yeah, but I mean if they manage to do what they did before, then yeah. Powell gets that up to mid-off, they get through for another single.
Yeah, I think they'll still feel in control of this, but they'll just want these two to bat for 2-3 overs to ease the kind of tension a little bit, right? And Jay on the socials is saying, well, good lord, which I think about sums it up, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
they went really hammer and tongs.
Yeah, I mean, the current run rate is 13.84.
Yeah. But 2 new batters, it's all to play for if you are England.
Exactly that.
And Hetmeyer hasn't exactly set the world alight for West Indies in T20 cricket. It's funny, they use him in a different role to Rajasthan. They like to bring him in a lot earlier than he comes in the IPL.
Yeah, he's very much a tail end
Here
hitter,
he has a
isn't
good chance to nail a 30 not out, get the team across the line, right?
Well, he does. His first ball, he plays it up towards mid-off. It's not fielded by Jamie Overton, who hasn't bowled, hasn't fielded very well, and didn't get the bat. And
it's a classic day out for him, isn't it?
It's a classic day out for Jamie Overton, and it'll be 2 runs, I think, then.
The way he's running around the field, the way he's fielding, throwing, I don't think he's carrying an injury particularly.
No, well, he shouldn't be out there if he is anyway, so...
Yeah.
You either should be. I mean, this is we were talking about in the ODIs, weren't we? If you can't bowl, then you shouldn't be able to go out in the field. Really, you don't need him as a batsman. There must be someone else. Anyway, Turner in, pulled well, straight to the fielder this time though by Hetmeyer. With a single. As you said, they've just got to rebuild a little bit here. England still got to take wickets. Get another couple. It could get quite interesting if they can get another couple reasonably soon.
They have Chase yet to come, who's a bit of a stable customer.
Well, that's what I mean. I think they've got to get one of these out and the next guy
And
out.
the next guy. And I thought Rutherford looked really good in the
Well,
ODIs
he
in
could
Sri Lanka,
be, but then
so-
you're starting to get down there, aren't you? And then mistakes can cost. Whereas at the moment, I don't think mistakes are really going to.
No.
One more mistake, it won't cost them if they
Yeah.
get another 3 overs under the belt.
And the pressure's really on, isn't
Yeah.
it, once it gets to sort of 5 down.
Exactly, and
Absolutely.
with 4 or 5 overs left, and you're starting to get into the.
The thing
more
they
hit or
have
miss
there
players.
is Akil and Sharfin Rutherford are proper batters, but Moti and Alzari can hit. Obed McCoy is the real bunny. That's about it.
Yeah.
So they bat up to 10.
Yeah.
effectively.
Yeah, but how often are they going to come off? That's the thing. I mean, they can do, but they're less likely to. Hence, they're down the order.
Correct.
You know.
Correct.
So there's a bit more jeopardy in the game. That's played up towards mid-on, long on, by Rodman Powell. Get himself a single.
Yeah, what's that, 9 from it? Pretty decent over from
Yes.
the West Indies perspective.
And sensible, actually. After having hit the 4 off the first ball, he always was looking for a 1 or 2.
Yeah, look
Anything
very
on the
risk-free. Not too much new coming in on the socials. What do we got? Lockie saying Mark Arnold's a guru. And he's also asking, is a Calypso Collapso coming up?
Oh, of course.
What else have we got? Lockie is saying some kind of hat, a 12th man advanced hair hat may be needed. A cap with bald, yep, don't care. So I think we've got more chat about Bear's hair, Bear's wig, Bear's weave. It's the topic of conversation tonight. I think he's got a lovely head of hair.
Thank you very much. Well, look at the Worms. The Worms have diverged massively in about the last 4 or 5 overs. That's full and in the slot.
Oh dear.
It's a googly, but it was kind of telegraphed because it was thrown up well wide of the off stump, and Rodman Powell's climbed into that. Well, we had a respite for an over. We had 3 wickets, but we're back on song. Another one smashed over the bowler's head. It did turn a little bit, but it turned right into the arc, didn't it?
Yeah, and as you say, when it's that wide, you know it's going to be the googly coming
Yeah.
down, don't you? And it's a free swing for Rov.
Yeah.
It's a little on the shorter side, but what I liked is it drifted away in the air. That's very good spin. That's a lot of rev on the ball. So I'm liking this lad always. There's a learning to be had for him for sure.
Much so.
He took the 2 wickets.
I agree, Ajay. I think he's going to be good, and he's got a big smile on his face, which I like.
Well, that's full.
There you
go. Driven up to long on. It's a single. Yeah, but the 6 is off the first ball of the over. The damage is done, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, a little bit. And 65 off 52, it's coming down, and you feel like the horse is bolting.
Yeah, very much so.
2 more overs of such 9s and 10s, I think they have it in hand from that point on West Indies. But, well, it's West Indies. So implosions,
Yeah,
collapses.
well, exactly. I don't think so. It doesn't look like it, does it? I mean, it's floated up a little bit from round the wicket round Ahmed to Hetmeyer. He mistimes it, but he gets it up towards long on, gets himself a single.
This is what I mean. His skipper is doing enough. From the other end, they're both Guyanese, by the way. And so there's a little bit of connection there. And they can just see this through. That'll be wonderful.
Yep. England needs to make something happen. Well, that's a nice little paddle sweep. There's no one down there, I don't think. Nope, there ain't. That's why he's done that. And Rodman Powell gets himself another little 4 runs. Nicely paddled round the corner.
Well, my apologies. He's actually Jamaican, Paul.
Oh, yeah, of course, he's a Kingston boy.
Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah.
You wouldn't take kindly to that, would you?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Well, they only need 60 off 50 now.
Nah, this is tantamount to a pretty comfortable chase if these two stay even 2 more overs.
Well, exactly. And that's guided down towards fine third man, and Turner manages to palm it away. Does look very wet out there, doesn't it? Very dewy, steamy.
Anywhere in the
two
Caribbean,
again.
you're never too far from the sea, is it? And then
Well,
that means
no, but
you
you
come some-
kind of think it should be quite dry if you're a little island. Lots of wind going across, take the moisture away. But no, doesn't seem to.
Yeah, I'm not too up on
Apparently
the science of
commentators
dew.
are saying the same thing. What is Mr. Overton doing? Oh dear. A friendly full toss is just patted that to
Mid-wicket.
short mid-wicket, right? He missed out on an easy opportunity for 6 more.
Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? They've got, what, 10, 14 off that over.
Yeah, it's the rare time you can afford to miss out.
Oh.
And what have we got going
Oh
on the
dear.
socials?
No,
those
that's
are
a replay.
Sorry. I'm like, where did a left-hander come from? Was it Hetmeyer? No, sorry.
Jay is saying, Nicking Gorillas reminds me of my first cook's job. Bit short staff today. Here's the microwave book. You'll find thou way round. It was a bit like that, Bear, wasn't it?
It was, but you did a fine job, it has to be said.
Thank you, mate. You're too kind. Jay is saying pub. Lockie's saying ironic juxtaposition of the man bun on the ball patch live on YouTube. Jay is saying worth the $5.95 an hour. I got no discount at the bar. It's a hard knock life, that. And Louis is saying this is all well and good, but I need an update on the scrotometer readings for player comfort levels. Relative humidity in the pike around the crotch area. I reckon there's some sweaty crotches out there.
Well, I imagine so. But let's not think about that one.
Yeah, I'd rather not dwell on that too long, to be honest. As Saqib Mahmood comes back.
There's 2 of us with patches. Maybe I can go with you, Bear.
And I've got the big receder, so if we could piece it all together, we'd have a decent hair.
Well, there you go.
Fair enough.
Oh, it's me, isn't it? Sorry. Driven up to mid-off. We got Saqib Mahmood back into the attack. I'm sure they wouldn't have liked to have had to use an over of him. I suppose that's what he's there for. It is a noticeably less firepower without Adil Rashid. I mean, they haven't used Adil Rashid, but they've capped Jofra, and now they've got rid of both. I guess they could have taken Rayan out and given Jofra a break and have one of your main men in there.
Yeah, would have made sense if they're going to give Jofra rest to bring Rashid back. But I guess these young guys are here to learn, and now's a good learning point with 3-0 up.
3-0 up, can afford to lose 2. You never like to lose, though.
No, true, and I think they would have, as you say, Bear, liked to hold Saqib back a bit more than they have done, but they've had to bring him back now, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's only the 13th over. Second ball, this is clipped out into the deep, it'll be a single.
And can afford to just tick singles now with so little scoreboard pressure.
Absolutely. I mean, there's one more issue here in this ground. The lights are a little bit in the eye. I think there was a couple of catches missed as well. So, in any case, coming back to what you were saying, they're going to respect him, I think, Saqib. He's been the most challenging of the England bowlers so far today. They're going to respectfully play him out 5-6 and over. They have the chance to do that.
Yeah. Well, I still wonder whether they're going to bowl Overton the last 4 overs or something. I don't know.
Exactly. They can wait on that, right? One big hit in the over is enough.
Now that's skewed off the outside of the bat. Banged into the pitch on Saqib. Hetmar didn't look comfortable, but of course there's no slip, there's no gully. Goes down to Rayan Ahmed, third man. It's only been the 1 run. 3 singles, the first 3. Good start to the over.
Well, if it gets
considering the lengths he's bowling, sorry to interrupt. Considering the lengths he's bowling, I think neither of them have a good back and across game. These 2.
No.
I'm very curious how they'll handle him, but that's the point. They'll just see him through, I suppose.
Yeah, they'd much rather the ball up in the arc, wouldn't they, these 2? But if it gets to the death overs, England are going to be a bit short-handed, aren't they? With Mahmood through 3 at the end of this over, and Curran and Turner have been costly.
They have indeed.
There is an Overton. But all right.
Yeah, exactly. That was just played back to the bowler, and there's no Saqib showing the others how to do it here. He's bowling with, he's generally bowling with pace on and into the middle of the pitch and straight. You know.
I think they have retained Overton as an indoor specialist. He comes on around the 12th, 13th over, maybe gets through a 2-3 over spell. There's a plan for him, I understand. And sometimes he's not required. So I think he'll come.
He's definitely bloody required now, and I'd have used him. I'd have had him on earlier.
Yeah, well, I think if that is the plan, by the time he's got into the game, it's well gotten away from England already.
It's still possible to drag it back. Unlikely. That's scoot down leg side. That will be a wide. Still 2 balls left. They could easily go for 6 and a 4, and that ruin the over. And then it would be another 14.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking when that happens, isn't it? When you think you're getting through a quiet one, and then last ball goes for 4 or 6.
That to edge, inside edge, Chinese cut.
Yeah.
One of those crap shots. And you're like, why did I have to pick up bowling? And so on.
It's when you feel cursed by the cricket gods.
10 dots out of what? 18 balls, 16 balls so far for Saqib. That's going to be another dot as mid-off is up.
Yeah,
Closes that down quickly.
He's really impressed me, Saqib. I still wonder if he might be a 3-format player for England, if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, I don't mind him in a test side as well. He's just had too many stops and starts, hasn't he? He's been unfortunate with injuries.
He could be, your Simon Jones or
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe he signed a white ball only contract to Lancashire, didn't he? Because he said he didn't want to take money off them when he was playing so little 4-day cricket because of his back troubles. But hopefully this season we can see him playing a bit more first-class cricket, and maybe he might be a bolter for the Ashes.
Fair enough.
Well, his towel fell out the back of his trousers. It's been given as a wide.
Usually given as a dead ball or a no ball, I think.
Yeah, it should be a dead ball, shouldn't it?
Dead ball. All right. Nah, it's also about whether the batter
pulls
really
out
objects and finds it. A distraction.
Well, you would find that if the bowler got bowled, he'd go, I got distracted by the towel, but as it's down the leg side and he gets a wide, then he's not really that fast, is he?
Absolutely. And that's normal. Sorry to say that. I mean, look, 5 out of 5, they've seen him through. And in this ball, I think he has a free swing, Mr. Powell. We'll see if he's going to utilize that.
Yeah. He is coming in for the last ball of the 13th over, and it's hit aerially, and he's got enough of that.
Just as we said.
There you go. Last ball goes. And
clean, beautiful shot.
So they still end up getting, 11 off that?
Yeah, it's not such a good one in the end.
No, it doesn't end up being a decent one. No. Yeah.
And now we're pretty close to a run of ball, 47 off 42. Jay is coming in on the YouTube and saying, I hasten to add Nick doesn't remind me of my incompetence as my first cook's job. I nearly started crying when I had to coordinate several fried breakfasts. Well, a fry-up takes a lot of timing, doesn't it? And I promise that the jingles are a bit easier to manage. Jay's also saying Thatcher might have given me a solid there. Don't know what that's in reference to, but it sounds dodgy.
It does indeed.
Lockie says, I love it when Z Sports team rocks up and says we're here to lose. He also says Maggie would have given you a sentence. That sounds about right. And Jay is saying too soon. So,
well, England had a little bright spot in 1 over, and that's about it really. West Indies have proved it is a lot easier to bat second, and they've certainly got the power to do it. They get off to a start. They are a dangerous side. Ryan Armand is going to continue. Hetmeyer just plays him back to him, and there's no run. 47 required from 41 now.
While Hetmeyer finds his range, right? I'm liking the clinical nature of how Powell is playing this innings.
That's gone up a long way. That's not gone far enough.
Nowhere near.
Oh wow, that's a fantastic catch from Liam Livingston. I don't know if he's injured himself. I think he
has injured
himself. Looks like he's really hurt himself.
Looks like he's hurt himself badly. He's fallen on his shoulder, but he's caught the ball. Maybe he's all right.
He's laughing. I think he might just be winded.
I think he might have winded himself, but he caught that over his shoulders. A fantastic catch. It went really miles up in the air. Not very far, and he was obviously up inside the circle, and he had to chase back a long way.
There's the length for the googly. Well done, Rehan.
Well,
beautiful length.
It's a great catch over his shoulder.
Wonderful.
Yeah, he landed awkwardly on his shoulder.
Elbow and shoulder, I think.
Yeah.
He jarred it as he landed.
But it looks like he's all right.
Yeah, nothing too serious, just one of those that really hurts coming down.
And Hetmeyer has to go 7 off 9 for Hetmeyer. So, is there oh no, well he's looking at he's talking about his legs actually.
Sorry.
Interesting. Well, let's give it a jingle because it's a wicket. Looks like there's Livingston chatting with the physio.
Yeah, always slightly concerning when a player stays down for this long, isn't it?
Yeah.
He looks like he's gingerly about to get up.
He looks like he's all right. Doesn't look in too much pain, it has to be said.
Right, it's another pensive innings from Hetmeyer, isn't it? Another one that his detractors will cling on to say he's not the man for this middle order job for the West Indies.
Well, I think he banged his knee on the turf, didn't he, actually, when he fell down? He jammed it.
So it's the knee, okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the knee. It took a divot in the ground.
Which could have been
Ouchie.
nasty.
Could have been nasty.
Those are
Those
those
are-
take you out for 6 months or so. I hope it's not any of that. It's just a jarring.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's there,
Yeah,
that
it's there,
right
isn't
knee.
it? Yeah.
Ouch. Every time they show it, it feels a little bit more painful to me.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
you can
well.
see Hetmeyer, just a second to take it off, while Livingston is walking it off, and probably he's going to stay off the field for a bit of attention while somebody subs him.
Yep.
I mean, you can see the disappointment writ large on Hetmeyer's face, and rightly so. I mean, I was telling you this was a really good opportunity for him to see it through, and he's simply blown it away.
He has indeed. Well, next man in for the West Indies is this man.
Jermaine's the best thing. Jermaine, that's insane. Jermaine's the best thing. Jermaine, that's insane.
It's Shafane Rutherford.
Mm.
And Ryan Armour's been in the action, hasn't he? He's got
Yeah,
3 for 30.
I was just going to say, he's the action man tonight, making things happen for England.
He certainly is. His first ball is defended by Rutherford.
I mean, if you were to take it in the context of what's going on, 3.3 overs, 30 for 3 will take in a chase of 200, right? Or a defense of 200.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty decent. He's bowled a lot of googlies, hasn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Yes.
He bowls more gluggies than he does. Oh, now it's gone
Oh,
straight
he might
up
have
again.
another one here.
I
Height.
think. Has it got enough length on it?
Yes.
Yes, it
Oh,
has.
only just.
Wow. Similar sort
Barely
of thing.
lands a feet on the other side of the rope.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Went a long, long, long way up, and just about far enough, and the balance a long way in. That was loud.
So the West Indies have cleared 13 sixes now, so that fabled six hitting is coming to the party eventually.
Yeah.
Wow, he sliced that up. It's just
Yeah.
that sheer muscle that carried it on the other side of the rope.
Wow. Just over. But it came down from such a sharp angle, you wonder if anyone would have been able to catch it on the boundary anyway. Has Rutherford done himself an injury?
Yeah, looks like he's
He
hurt himself
has,
in
oh
that.
dear.
Swung himself off his feet, got
No,
a bit of
it
cramp,
looks like
does
a
he?
cramp.
It can't
Hammy
be.
cramp.
He can't be cramped.
After
He's faced
one
2
ball.
balls, for fuck's sake. Can't have cramp after being out
Maybe
there
he
for 2
sat batted
balls.
up for the whole innings or whatever. I mean, I'm giving him excuses because I can.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, he's been
Not
doing
on pick and
sprints on the
juice.
boundary.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Maybe
no
that.
way you should have cramp after 2 balls.
Mm. Yeah.
Well,
I really rate Shafane Rutherford, but it's been an interesting night for him, hasn't it, with those overthrows, which was absolutely dreadful, and now he's cramped up after 2 balls.
yeah, either that or he's gone down, he's given it a big swing. And then, well, he's pressing on the back of his hamstring. Maybe he's pulled his hamstring. Maybe he's snapped it.
Ouch. Oh
That
dear.
would be painful.
And he did sort of sit and swing his whole
Yeah,
weight
yeah, yeah.
to-
Well, exactly. He swung his whole body.
Yeah.
Twisted on his front leg and really didn't catch it right. So he swung right round. Maybe he has stretched it and pinged it.
It's
That'd
really
be that
hopeless.
would be really unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, he got 6 for it, but at what cost, one matters.
Well, indeed.
And on the socials, Lockie is saying this performance is obviously a result of the euphoria all the players are feeling after the Trump win.
Ah. Why did
Wendy's.
you mention that? Why not go to Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul as well?
Oh,
Oh,
my God.
Jesus.
That was.
Sorry.
That was. Well, I didn't watch it, thank God, and now I'm not going to watch it. I mean, I think like most of the world, we were all hoping that he'd fucking put Jake Paul out of his misery, but it didn't happen.
He did well, I think. He never got close to him.
Poor
He
old
kept,
Mike.
Well, the thing is, it's sad. I mean, I remember watching Mike Tyson when he was live, when he was a kid. When he was 20, he was an absolute monster and a machine, and you couldn't imagine anyone beating him. But at 58, getting beaten by some journeyman YouTube star is a bit fucking sad.
I think he got a decent payday for
Well,
it.
he did.
Yeah, 15 million he got for it, but it's a bad look for boxing, it's a bad look
Yeah.
for Netflix, and the amount of attention it's drawn, the crossover interest, says a lot, and it's a pretty sorry affair all round, wasn't it?
I mean, they've both been banned from certain boxing federations because of their behavior and such. Apparently, there is also news of how they both sort of agreed previously beforehand.
I wouldn't be
so on.
surprised if there was a pre-fight deal, but big up Iron Mike.
Yeah, but presumably it's not. It doesn't have to be sanctioned by any boxing body, does it? I mean, it's basically
it's
a
a
show
recreational
fight, so who gives a shit? You know, I mean, they can do it as many as they like. Exactly that. I heard that Jake Paul got 40 million or something for it, and it's just like crying out loud.
Did you see the other card? The
Katie Taylor.
She bet 30 million that Mike Tyson will beat him.
No.
And he won that bet as well. I don't know what's going on. Never mind. So back to the bout that's on our hands. We don't know if Mr. Rutherford is ready to continue.
Well, it looks like he hasn't gone off. He's still facing.
All right.
Yeah, here he is, back on his feet. He's not looking too happy, but he's up and...
Looks a little dodgy still, but somehow limping around and air quotes trying to walk it off.
Yeah. Well, still need 41 off 38 deliveries. Should be a walk in the park, really. 6 wickets in hand.
Both of these good big hitters, and I like more and more the clinical approach of...
well, I always think you might as well carry on and get it done, eh? I mean, they can afford to get singles down at the last over and then have a slog. So with 6 wickets in hand, that should be a doddle. It's played out to deep point and they get a single.
Also, I like that Chase has been retained back in the hut, because this gives them the right and left keep going, right? So it was Hetmeyer out, so it's Rutherford promoted. So a little bit of thought process there, and of course, because it will give your spinners also a tough time, especially the one with the wrist spin.
Well, that's been hit and it's gone a long way. He's picked that one up. It's turned into his arc and he's hit it a long way in the air and a long way over the boundary into the back of the stands, and it's another 6 runs.
2, 4, 6.
Cracking strike from Rov, wasn't it? And Mayank is saying hello all on the socials. Jay's saying hooray Mayank. Lockie's saying Mike hardly made the walk to the ring, no legs, it was shameful. Yeah, his legs are gone, and I think his only chance was to an early knockout, but they were using 14-ounce gloves, bigger than standard boxing gloves, 2-minute rounds. I mean, the whole thing was a bit of a farce, wasn't it? And Mayank is saying hello Jay. Dara is back saying, am I the only one that still thinks England will win? Well, I think
you're the only one, Dara.
You are, Dara. I mean,
I'm an England fan, but I don't see us doing this. They need less than a run on ball now.
Well, is this a real attempt from England at a Hail Mary, or is it a chance for them to finish the game early? It's Mousley coming back.
Well, I mean, they need less than 6 sixes, and they've been hitting an awful lot of sixes. So, and they've got
that is a bit unfair on the lad.
And they got 36 balls to hit that many sixes.
Oh, well, he's almost got a wicket with a bit of filth, hasn't he?
Well, he has into the pitch. Who's bowling? Is it
Mousley?
It is Mousley.
Okay. It is.
I'm asking though, is he a spinner?
No.
I don't think 70 mph sometimes.
Well, he's a bit. He's Axar Patel, but right-handed, really. I mean,
and quicker.
Yeah, and quicker.
Actually, quicker. You're right. At times he's quicker. This is 96 kph he starts. That's his warm-up, I suppose.
Right. Oh, that's into the pitch and it's pull. I mean, it's just basically kind of medium pace from a walking.
Yeah, that was
from a walk-in rather than a run-in.
Channeling Joe Root, wasn't it? The bouncer.
That's 114 miles an hour.
I mean, probably this is how you played Ronnie Irani or somebody.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is it. I mean, on a bad day, Sam Curran's up at 127, which is only 12 k's quicker, which is only 6 miles an hour quicker.
Yeah, no, exactly. And so Hendo and I were saying the other night, he's sort of like a throwback to these early days of fast spinners that went out the game about 100 years ago.
Well, exactly. There was one, Michael Yardy, I remember.
Yeah, he was pretty fast.
Yardy was fast and
flat and quick. Anyway, that was played out to leg side for a single.
I think this fast variety of spin is an invention that's sort of been accommodated by T20s to prevent scoring.
Well, it is exactly that. Yeah.
Not take any wickets.
No, exactly.
I quite like
it. Apart from miss hits. Well, it wouldn't get you anywhere in any other form of cricket, though.
But it's funny, we've seen the sort of medium pacer disappear from T20 cricket, haven't we? The kind of Irani or Mark Elam style bowler.
Mark Elam. No, that's the other guy.
Yeah. Well, he was better than you think, though. That's played up to long on for a single. Yeah, and that's it. And then the darts come in, really. I mean, because to a certain degree, you've got better control because you're not running in to deliver the ball, you're kind of throwing it. Well, you're not throwing
also
it.
Also, the turnaround time, in case you're in trouble over range.
Yeah, true. Well, that's short, a little bit wide, miss hit into the ground by Rutherford. They'll get a single. 30 required off 32. 29 off 21, sorry. 29 off 31, sorry.
But you've got to have control and variations to make it work, don't you?
Well, Well, not really. If you want to go for one a ball, if you want to try and average 6, 7, 8 and over, you could probably do it just bowling darts with a slight variation in pace. Mousey's fallen into the pads.
There's the variation, I
Clipped
suppose.
out to a full toss to deep mid wicket for a single. We're time for a change. I'm staying here. Hendo is coming in to take over from Nick, and Fred is coming in to take over from Ajit. Good to see you, Ajit.
Thank you.
See you later.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Bye.
Oh God, this is all over, isn't it? By the
Yeah.
counting, I'm afraid to say, for my final 5 overs of the night. Well, do we think it's the chasing?
Certainly looks that way, doesn't it?
It kind of looks that way, but I do think England have bowled quite poorly.
Yes.
And also,
you're sitting on the remote control, mate.
yeah, Nick has just gone out and he's sitting on the remote control. We're going to be looking at Sky Sports News in a moment. Yeah, and I really don't understand the Jamie Overton thing here. He must have come into this game unfit, and why are they playing him? I know Jofra Archer possibly needs a rest, as he always does. Can't play 2 games in 2 days, or even 3 games in 4 days, which is what this is. But I think he would have been very good on this wicket, to be honest. In comes Saqib. He's bowling his final over, and it's cross-batted out to Jacks at deep mid-wicket. And Rodman Powell, of course, I mean, he's been a rock for the West Indies. I feel glad for him and happy for him that he's going to get a victory here, because he stuck it out and then still played good shots when necessary. I mean, he got 50 in the last game when they were 37 for 5.
Good lick as well. I mean, 30.
Good look, and he's got 37 on 19 tonight.
Yeah.
Well, he's got the range, hasn't he? Basically.
Yeah.
But I do worry about how many miss-hits have gone for 6. Saqib into the left-handed Rutherford, who plays a good length ball on the line off stump, straight back to the bowler. Rare dot ball.
Saki's bowled really well, hasn't he? I mean,
yeah.
Bar that 6, was it 6 or 4 for the last ball of the over? I mean, he's gone for 21 off 3, 7 and over.
I also don't think that Butler has used his bowlers very well here either. I know that Fred will jump up and down if Fred can do so, as much as that physical activity, but about the notion if you've got 9 bowlers, and you just keep using each one to see what's happening. But I think the only thing you can do when people are getting battered, as this is pushed out to deep mid-wicket by Rutherford,
try and find someone who isn't going to be.
Well, it's just to sort of keep changing it around, different pace, different angles, different ideas, I suppose. I mean, really, when they got going in the power play, it was the totally wrong move to bring on Sam Curran, who's not really been bowling very well, has it? Fred, you want to come in?
I agree with you, which is
unusual.
About the Overton situation, which is just ridiculous.
Totally ridiculous.
Because
Saqib in bowls a little bit slower, but he's bowling such a good length and line, generally speaking, that Rodman Powell can only defend that back to him.
Well, that's what's so...
He's in at number 8. There's a couple of games when he hasn't bowled, because in the ODIs as well he was playing.
Yep.
If he was there to be a batsman at number 8, then pick a batsman.
Exactly.
Don't pick Jamie Overton.
Well,
he can clump a big ball, but a batsman is going to be better than a part-time number 8.
Part of me thinks that we've sent so many players home or off to other parts of the world, as this is defended up to long on for an easy single, that I'm not sure who's left in the squad. 194 for 4, 25 required at a right ball.
But it does seem odd that Saqib has been the most successful bowler for England with pace on. He does bowl with pace on. He bowled really well the other night and got 3 wickets. Why would you not at least give him a shout? Give him a go. I mean, unless he's going to bowl the last 2 overs from one end.
Who?
Jamie Thingamajig Overton.
Well, it's unlikely, isn't it? Clipped by Rutherford. They're just doing it in singles, out to deep mid-wicket once again. 4 runs from the over. Really good double spell from Saqib. 4 overs, 24 in the context of this game, when people have gone for 40 per 4 overs or more.
I'm making is, if you pick somebody who is unfit to bowl, as we have reason to believe he has been in a couple of these games, and to bat at number 8, and frankly he's not a very good fielder, then it just doesn't make any sense.
No, I agree.
It doesn't make
you play any batsman ahead of that person.
It doesn't make any sense, but they've sent Jordan Cox off to New Zealand. Apparently, they've sent I've forgotten his name now, but the young sort of protege of Adil Rashid has been sent back to England.
Chowan.
And then he's going to go at Chowan.
They've got Pepper, haven't they got Pepper?
Well, I don't know. I think I heard some sort of rumour that he's gone off as well. So what the hell is going on?
How does Pepper go off?
Good point.
He hasn't been on.
Well, that's very true. I mean, it makes no sense at all. And the other thing I was going to say, as Turner comes back, bowls awful ball on leg stump right up there. I thought that immediately it was going to be a wide, but actually Rutherford has tucked it away again to mid-wicket, deep mid-wicket for a single. And even at this stage, the only way England can win this, and they're not going to win this, is to take a couple of wickets, isn't it? So wouldn't you have a couple of close fielders in, a couple of slips maybe, if you've got your opening bowler back on?
Well, yeah, I mean,
the ball hasn't beaten the bat. It hasn't. Really
No, it hasn't. It hasn't. But you know, you've got to do something, haven't you? Because the singles are just coming at a rate. Although this is a rare dot ball again, as it's defended back to the bowler. Just didn't really get that on the middle of the bat. It was a sort of inside chunk of wood.
Well, now would be the opportune time to get a few wickets and get an over that just went for 2, and then suddenly it'll be 8 or 9 and over for the last 2. You might be able to squeeze something. That's the only hope England have got.
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, who've they got left to bowl?
I mean, Jamie Overton.
If he can. Well, obviously he can't. He would have bowled by now, wouldn't he? Oh, has he bowled him? He certainly got him LBW, I think. Yes, indeed.
Well, he's out. He's either LBW or caught.
Well,
yeah, but then he's caught.
He's out one way or another, I would think. He's reviewed it. Not surprisingly,
he
because
may have got outside the line, possibly.
I think he got an edge. I think he was caught actually, but I don't know.
Well, we're going to have a look.
Salt was celebrating before he caught the ball, so he seemed like he was going up for LBW.
But as the Bear says, if he did get an inside edge, okay, it nullifies the LBW, but he's out caught. So you know, it's this might take a while, to be honest.
Well, we'll have a look. It might be obvious on the slow-mo replay.
Let's see. I mean, it looked pretty good.
It's
hit the back pad. That's surely out. If that's not out, then what am I?
If he hasn't hit it, I think it's LBW.
Is there an inside edge? We're gonna have a look. Oh, nothing there, I don't think. No, and it's hit the back pad.
I think he's walking off already.
Yeah, he's had a look at that, and he's gone.
I like the West Indies. They walk off for their LBWs. You don't see a lot of teams do that, but I mean, at least they got the. At least they understand the game.
Who stands around when he's bowled?
Yeah. Middle and off. It was hitting about 4 inches from the top. Very good decision by the umpire. And Powell goes for 38 off 23. England back in the game, maybe. Possibly. 23 from 21.
Another one bites the dust. I think that is going to be out, Fred. Another one bites the dust.
Well, Roston Chase, who's batted up as high as 4, finds himself down at number 7 today. And he's a sensible player, so he could just ease the ball around and pick up runs. Is there a call now for a slip or a leg slip even, perhaps? You know,
specialist slip is Overton. He's been fielding there.
That's true. The other thing about Overton I was going to say is that if he didn't come into this game already unfit to bowl, did he drop some mayonnaise on his foot while waiting to bat?
Who? What?
Overton, because that's a well-known football injury. I think Dave Besant did it. Dropped a mayonnaise on his foot.
Yeah. It wasn't the mayonnaise that caused the problem. It was the bottle.
Well, yes. Technically, you have to be so technical, Fred.
No, I mean,
I like the idea that it was mayonnaise. He's got a slip in, and he's played that very nicely.
The chase is on.
Out
Roston
to the
Chase.
cover rider for a single. 22 required from 20. Now, it's going to be interesting to see whether Rutherford thinks a big heave would be the most effective approach here. Still got some guys who can hit a long ball. Moti, Joseph, Hussain, still to come. They're not they're missing Romario Shepherd tonight, who's batted pretty well down the order for them in this series. Turner into the left-hander, who just drives through mid-on. Quietly enough, composed enough, takes the single. 1 ball remaining.
What, so are they going to bowl Sammy Curran?
Oh, Lord. Well, in that case, we
Well,
might as well
that's
go
it.
home
Give
now.
up.
Well, throwing in the towel, that's called.
Yeah.
Never mind using a towel to. So this over has gone 1.wicket11.
Yeah, well, we've seen that before, haven't we?
recovery.
The last ball, often so crucial in these games. The last ball of an over. The whole over can be spoiled by a big hit, can't it? Turner then running in to complete his spell. It's short, but there's no real pace on the ball, and Chase has to make that and can't. He just forces it off the back foot into the ground, back to the bowler. End of the over, a successful one for Turner. He finishes with 1 for 42 from his 4, and the West Indies need 21 off 3.
I think rather late, England have discovered that actually banging the ball into the ground
Which makes it even more flummoxing why Jamie Ovett hasn't bowled unless he's injured.
Well, exactly, but how has he got injured? This is what I'm saying, is if he was injured before the game, why are they playing him?
Exactly.
Yeah. We've asked it 3 or 4 times over the course of this series.
Well,
Ridiculous.
I don't think that. Well, he bowled and he bowled well on Thursday.
Yeah, but there's been a few games where he hasn't bowled at all.
Well, there's been
with the ODIs and the T20s.
Yeah, but occasionally he has batted reasonably well. I wouldn't be bowling Sam Curran. I'd be bowling Mousley now, to be honest. But Curran, it's going to be. Curran is going to bowl
bowling Duckett.
2 overs for 35. 21 required. Could come up in this over, to be honest. He's into Rutherford. It's wide, and he's had a little poke at that without moving his feet, and could have got a feather through, but luckily escapes.
Again, banged into the crease. I mean, you'd think at Curran's pace that shouldn't cause a problem for the batsman.
Well, I think
it's obviously stopping.
I think you need to be also on a pretty good length as well, or a difficult length for the batsman, as in. Whether to go forward or whether to go back. I mean, it's too often with Curran, it's too short and sits up. I think on these sort of pitches, on these kind of pitches. Anyway, here he is again, into Rutherford, who smashed that up in the air. It's gone very high. Someone surely should get under it. Oh my God! It's going to fall absolutely between 4 fielders. They all look at each other. I mean, even Curran himself ran back. That would have been coming over his head, but there were 3 men running in from the boundary trying desperately to get there, including Joss Butler. He can't believe it. He's smiling ruefully. He has put his cap on his head in a very sort of comical way.
It might be in St Lucia, but that landed in the Bermuda Triangle because it was just 3 people converging on it and nobody got within 3 yards of it.
Yep, well, that's
lucky is what I call that.
A real escape. I mean, that could have put the cat amongst the pigeons if that had fallen kindly for England.
Into the pitch.
Yep. Well, it brings Roston Chase down to face. 199 for 5, 20 required from 16. England will be really peeved about that, I would think. It remains to be seen how quickly Chase can get up to pace, really, doesn't it? And pick up the pace of this wicket. It looks like Curran is
holding cross
seam, isn't he? Yeah. That's the way he's putting the ball into his left hand. Chase has just re-established his guard. And Curran is on his way. Round the wicket now to bowl to Chase. Chase chips this up in the air, but it's going to fall short of the slab. The slab who can't bowl does the fielding.
Fielder.
Sorry, Fred?
Specialist fielder.
Specialist fielder, indeed.
Specialist fielder.
Overton, the specialist fielder. He's no Chris Jordan, is he?
No.
Yeah, now that's a point. We could have brought him out there just to be a sub-fielder. 19 from 15 required. I think the West Indies are going to get over the line here, but, we
could cause a little hair and scare him here if they
well,
can keep this
one
over
more
reasonably
wicket.
quiet.
Curran into Rutherford, who plays defensively into the offside. He looks at his partner to see if he's coming. Rayan Ahmed was coming in from backward point and picked up and feinted as if to throw, and then didn't. And they get through for the 1. 18 required off 14. I mean, if they can get it to 16 off the last 2, then there's a chance. But who are you going to bowl? I mean, I'm going to go for Moseley. I mean, he will bowl the odd bad ball, but...
Well, even Moseley's last over, he was banging in halfway down the wicket.
Yeah, but what Moseley can do is actually bowl quite a good Yorker. Sometimes it ends up being a terrible full toss. Round the wicket again, in and whipped away this time. They should probably get a couple. Saqib's lining it up. He throws it in, and it is indeed 2. Well backed up. There could be an overthrow. I say well backed up. Jax was the man coming in from cover to prevent that running away, and then he actually allowed it to escape a few yards. But
you know what? I think Dot here 8 off. It still should get 16 off 2.
Well, a dot ball here would be gold dust, really. Yeah, absolutely, I agree. But I don't think they're going to get it because there's too many singles to be had. I mean, when you get to this point, your men inside the circle are actually on the edge of the circle, so there are, unless you hit it really hard to them, there are singles everywhere. In comes Curran, bowls, and he drives it. Hit that really hard. Good tumbling stop, I think, is that Butler at mid-off. Again, he's inside the circle, but they've still got to run. And 204 for 5 is the score. 2 to go. They need 15.
England get 2 wickets in this over. It'll be interesting.
Social?
Mayank says if England win this now, the West Indies absolutely the chokers of the year. He also says if Overton is just in for being a specialist fielder, I too may have a shot to play for England. I've been saying this all along, Mayank. I should be in the IPL for exactly the same reasons.
What are the figures of the Bear in the IPL? 2 overs, none for 72. Thanks, Bear.
Well, in this game, 2 overs for 35 from Sam Curran.
Yeah. I kind of think you might have gone for a few more, but there you go. Yeah. Anyway, it's going to be Moseley, as I predicted. 15 required off 12. And can Roston, Chase and Rutherford keep their cool? I mean, what you don't want here is ping down the leg side for a wide, running away for 4 byes or 4 leg byes. That's can happen. He bowls from round the wicket, Moseley, mostly to the right-hander. Mostly.
By bowling a last over in one of these games.
100. He did really well in the last over in 100 match, didn't he? Oh, he's looked for the. Well, he's been a bit unlucky there. He looked for. It was a low full toss. It's been shanked into the onside by Chase. Certainly didn't get it cleanly, but in not getting it cleanly, he's managed to get himself 2 runs.
I thought he was going to get 4.
I thought he was going to get 4, absolutely. But the deep backward square ran round. 13 required from 11. He's definitely looking for the Yorker there. Just didn't quite get it right. I mean, he got Rodman Powell with a beauty earlier in this series. But I guess the more you watch Moseley and the more batsmen see of Moseley, the more they'll get used to him. He is in again. Bowls driven hard. Anyone back there? Yes, it's Sammy Curran. It's just a single to long off. Chase moves to 8 from 7. 12 required off 10. I must admit, I thought it was just going to be a procession when I came on for the last 5 overs, but it's been made a little bit more interesting. And Moseley is having a chat with Joss Butler about what to do to the left-hander. Rutherford has 16 off 14.
I'm not a lip reader, but I'm wondering if Moseley just said, is Overton playing?
Well, is Overton going to do a Moseley and bowl the last over like the Warwickshire man did on Thursday, was it? Now, Salter's joined the chat.
Might be going to switch the ball, which might help England, actually. It'll be dry, at least.
I think they are going to switch the ball. I'm not sure that, at this stage that really helps.
Well, if it gets 1 dot ball, it's better than nothing.
Well, yeah, true. Of course, we've got another game tomorrow night. Would you believe it comes thick and fast? We're still in St Lucia for the 5th T20 International. And then, of course, we move on to New Zealand. 27th.
Bless you.
Thank you so much. We move on to New Zealand. 27th of November, we start the test match. 10 o'clock in the evening, British time. And don't forget also that the Australia-India test starts on Friday this coming week. So cricket overnight. If you can't sleep, then and you're in England, then
the Perth game will be on in the morning. Won't
the Perth game starts about 2:30, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which is a shame because you like to stay up. I can stay up and do that, but starting at 2:30. Horrible full toss, smashed down the ground. Brilliant piece of fielding by the slab, and the slab has offloaded it to
I
Butler.
think they've only got one.
And they've only got one.
Wow.
Well, I thought they were going to get four there. Brings Chase back down to. Well, he's done something useful, Overton. He can't be that badly injured.
No.
Coming.
I did very well to release the ball there because it wasn't Butler, it was Curran helping him out. Because otherwise he did slide into the boundary. He's looked again for the Yorker. It's ended up being a full toss. It's heaved to deep backwards square. Just a single. 10 required from 8.
Ooh.
Odd, has there been a 6 since those 3 wickets fell in consecutive balls?
Oh yes, there has. Rodman Powell hit a couple.
Rutherford hit one, didn't he? We thought he was going to be out.
Yeah. I mean, straight after Hetmeyer got out with one that I don't think I've seen such a good catch over the shoulder than that one by Livingston, because it went so high, went miles up. In again. He's gone for the big hit. Has he got enough on it, or is someone going to be there to catch it? No, it's gone for 6.
Oh, that's it.
My goodness me! I mean, he's not even hit that hard. It seems to me, and it's gone for 6.
Well,
it's game over.
It is game over. That's interesting. Now, I mean, England took it a lot deeper than I thought it would. I thought they would, yeah.
Well, yeah, when they were about 130 off 7 overs.
Yeah.
after barely scoring for the first 2. A very strange game this has been. But the West Indies are going to get one back. Consolation goal for the West Indies. Although they can, of course, potentially get another win tomorrow. Mousley in, bowls him a full toss, smacks it. Oh, that's gone very high. It's probably gone out the ground. It's all over in the end. We don't even get down to the final over. The West Indies have won by 5 wickets with exactly 1 over to spare. Again, the chasing team takes the spoils. Is that what it's all about? It would appear to be, and there's a great joy amongst the West Indies fans, and not surprising, and great relief, I imagine, for Rodman Powell, who's presided over this T20 side and has finally got a victory. Well, entertaining, good fun.
It was in the end. I mean, it should have been easier, I think, for the West Indies. I mean, it's still a big score to chase. I mean, England proved that you can actually get runs back first, but it's still easier to chase.
Yeah, well, this is it. I mean, the ball is wet from the word go, really, isn't it? That's it. England were a bowler short, effectively, because I know that's funny, a strange thing to say when they've got 9 bowlers in the team. But they were an important bowler short, and I really do think we need to know the answer. Long term, it's not a scandal or anything like that, but you do need to know what the hell was Jamie Overton doing in this team if he wasn't fit to bowl.
Well, we've found that in the ODIs. Well, we've had finally another one of these. Thank you very much from our man Maya. Won my bet on West Indies beating England. Cheers all.
$1.99. Thanks, Mike. But finally, he's turned up.
George McPherson. Another poor performance from England. Bowlers yet again failed to show aggression. Yeah, the bowlers weren't, first string, really, were they? I mean, you kind of think if they're going to put Jofra out, they put Adil in to...
Yeah.
If they, leaving both out is a bit too much for this England side. They are 2-man bowlers. Maybe they want to try them out. The series has been won. Try an experimental side, but the Jamie Overton thing is
it's a mystery, isn't it?
It's a mystery.
It is indeed. Let's just finish up with some final YouTubes. What have we earned on chat revenue tonight?
£33.61.
That's great news. Thank you for your generosity, people. It's great to see George McPherson turn up. I'm now beginning to think George McPherson is perhaps someone we know well. Under an assumed identity. Lockie6 says, thanks for the fun. Jay Grove says, George McPherson, in caps. Who are you? Mayank says, great to see George is back with the negativity. Lol. Sandra Richardson says, win the toss and win the game. It kind of seem a little bit like that.
It does.
Jago says George McPherson is like the not fun porn bot. Maybe it is the not fun porn bot.
Maybe it is. We should say before we go, smash that like button and subscribe, please, peeps.
One thing I saw on Twitter earlier. I'm trying to wean myself off Twitter and just get to Blue Sky, but there are a few people that I find interesting to read. But what came up in my feed was that the off spinner Shoaib is the highest wicket taker this year for England.
Shoaib Bashir,
41 wickets.
Wow,
I know. There you go. Something to think about as we leave. George McPherson says it's the truth. I don't know what is the truth. Perhaps that he is the porn bot. Anyway, West Indies win 221 for 5 from 19 overs. We did see some really good innings from Jacob Bethel again, who just seems to get better and better. 62 not out of 32. It's a full moon over St Lucia, and finally West Indies have got their T20 victory under wraps. That's about it, unless there's any final YouTubes. No, there are none.
We're up there.
So I say thank you to everyone who's been on. That's Ajit, we've had Billy, we've had Fred, miles away in the distant northwest of London.
Nick next door.
We've had Nick next door. We've had the bear.
Yep.
We've had me, and we will be back. Well, I will be back.
I'm not. I'll be on tech duty at home, no doubt.
Yeah, and Tony, I think, is hopefully, after wetting his grandchild's head today with lots of alcohol, hopefully be fit enough to drive me in. But we shall see. We shall see. Don't know who else is on tomorrow, but please join us again. It will be at what about 10 to 8 in the evening, GMT. But until then, it's goodbye from all of us. Fred's already gone. And join us tomorrow.
Yep, see you all later. Bye.
Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time is come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket. It's not about the winning, it's about how many rules you break. Even in cricket commentary, this is the best advice to take. Pick guerrilla cricket, it's the finest choice you'll ever make. There's so much more to cricket than rev counters and a slice of cake. At first they tried to sanitize